Can you hear me?
What's good, nigga?
You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
All right. Yeah.
What's good with you?
So what's good, yo?
Man.
This is the guy 720 in Detroit Red. You know, I had to bring him in on the 50 years of hip hop, and see what he had to say about the whole scenario with where hip hop is at.
Sorry, I got the do-rag on, bro. I ain't get no cut.
Is in the building. Nigga, you're too grown for the do-rag about it, man. But hey, my sons have to get knighted in the right of the do-rag right now. They're practicing on the butters. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so this my motherfucking nigga right here. Where should we begin, man? 50 years of hip hop, man. As you see the name Detroit Red, rest in peace, Malcolm X. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Chicago nigga. We both Midwest niggas.
For sure.
We had to bring this energy. I thought it was pertinent, respectful for one of the background producers in the game. Because when it comes to hip hop, we don't give no credit to too many producers.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the producers be the only niggas ain't complaining about no money.
Right. Well, it used to not be like that.
Yeah.
Now it's getting tricky because it's
getting tricky. Why you say that? Go ahead.
Man, when I first started, I got my first piece of equipment in '97. Mm-hmm. And I was working at a drugstore on Woodward Avenue, and I saved up a whole school year, and I got the ASRX, the black one, and Sonic ASRX, and I still got the receipt for that shit. That shit was $1,200, and I got that instead of a car, so I didn't get a car until way later, and it was so hard to make a record, man. Like that was just getting the equipment to make the beats, so I had to learn how to make the beats. Then I had to put the shit on tape. Then I had to go around the people, let them hear it. They tell me if they like it or not. Then if they like it, I got to put it on these little ass floppy disks, go to the studio. We got to pay hundreds of dollars a session, mix it, master it, take it down to Archer Press and Plant in Detroit. They got to run a test press the rec, like just to do 3 songs. And now, nigga can put up 100 beats in 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Now see. You had to love the art in order to put 1,200 down on a beat machine. Well, it was a rack, one of the rack machines, right? Before you got a vehicle. Would you tell somebody today who is in love with hip hop to dedicate 1,200 to whatever element that may be, whether producer or rapper, versus back then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think that at the end of the day, it's business. So if you see, here's my thing. I don't judge what an artist does. Like, I can respect art, especially if I feel like if it's coming from a place of sincerity and authenticity, I can respect art. Like, everybody wants to diss drill music. And I don't mean to veer too much off the subject, but everybody wants to talk shit about drill music. And when I first got put on the drill music in like the early 2010s from this white kid from Chicago, man, I was loving that shit because it was authentic and it was subculture. I think the first artist he put me up on was a chick called Katie Got Bands. And like I like Young Chop, I like Johnny May Cash, all of those early guys that was coming out. And then once everybody started trying to do it, everybody started using a little 808 and trying to copy the flows and shit and started trying to bite the Chicago style. That's when I withdraw because it becomes oversaturated. So I think if you are creating your art from a place of sincerity and creativity, you're going to have to invest. You're going to have to invest because the way our society is now, once your shit gets popping and everybody's going to want to jump on your wave and try to ride your wave. So you got to believe in yourself and you got to put your money up. And it's better to put your own money up anyway, because then you run the show. Then when they come see you, you tell them what you want, you know?
Right. So you're referencing your heart in art.
Yeah, if you really believe in what you're doing, it's always better to invest in yourself and have as much control over it as you can. Because when I first started doing music, it was kind of a nerdy thing. Everybody wasn't doing it. So just the fact that you had a beat machine, if you had an MPC 2000 or you had a drum machine and somebody wanted to rap, it was like you were the man. You know, everybody wanted to be
right. So that was back in the day when it was concentrated. So let me go in on this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So when we talk about having heart in your art form, that should be supported with an exercise in the art form versus a false self-confidence. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people nowadays, they get a lot of false self-confidence based off of, I want to duplicate the fame I'm seeing on TV or I'm seeing on movies and things of that nature. So for people who have that false self-confidence and don't have an exercise in instruments and music, should they, pick up and try to get in the game? I mean, what is that? How do you feel about that?
Nah, I don't think they should do it. And matter of fact, people like that waste the time of people that are sincere and people that are coming from a place of authenticity. So they come around trying to do a quick flip or trying to ride somebody's wave or trying to be seen. And, that's the era we live in now. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to go viral and all that shit. Everybody's setting themselves on fire and jumping out of buildings. So a person that's really sincere about making a record and willing to put the patience and time in and enjoys the process, you get these people trying to do a quick flip or just want to be seen. And it pisses people like me off because I'm willing to be patient. I'm willing to lose money, learn different things from people that know more than me and then younger people. Like it's a whole process. It's something I'm willing to go through. Take the ups and downs.
About the process. You said art and authenticity. List to the people the different genres of music that you understand, that you ever since the youngin' days that you have sat with.
Okay. Well, my father was a jazz head. So my father was born in 1935. And so he'd been to Birdland. He basically saw the entire rise and fall of Motown. Mm-hmm. And so I actually have his record collection. He died in 2015 and he gave me his entire record collection. But he used to sit me down on Sundays and make me listen to the blues, Bobby Blue Bland, made me listen to Miles Davis, Cannonball Adderley, Lyle Lovett, Yusuf Lateef from Detroit. We would make comparisons between Bud Powell and Thelonious Monk. Well, I prefer Bud Powell over Monk. Pops would say there's really no comparison. They're two different artists. Kind of like how we do with hip hop. Everybody rank Jay-Z over Nas and rank Kanye West over Method Man. So I would have these conversations with my father about jazz, and about jazz singers, Sarah Vaughan, Ella Fitzgerald, and people like that. And then on my end, my brother, who was actually one of the first people to create a techno record in the world, a record called Charivari back in Detroit, he was at the radio. So I was always kind of able to stay current, and there was so much variety of the stuff we listened to. Like I listened to everything that came on MTV. I listened to everything from Marilyn Manson to Big Daddy Kane, or from Overkill and Black Sabbath to Mary J. Blige and Jodeci or somebody like that. We listen to everything.
All of that. Mm-hmm. So you're exercising different genres of music. Mm-hmm. What books have you read pertaining to music or different artists and their experiences in the industry?
I read Slash's book from Guns N' Roses. I read that. That came out around 2008. I read that. That was a very good book. He kind of went over the ups and downs that he faced with in the group and his own struggles with addiction and just bullshit with the labels merging. He talked about the label merger in 97, 98. I remember that because that's when shit got real weird with the music. A lot of people's albums weren't coming out, a lot of stuff. He went over all of that. That was a very good book. And I was actually just getting into the game around that time. So I read that. I read I just finished Dilla's book finally. I thought that book was incredible because it showed his human side. Because in Detroit, I met Dilla a few times. I actually met Jay Dilla about 3 or 4 times when I was a teenager running around Detroit. And it was before he really blew up. And it was kind of like it showed his human side because back then, I just thought he was like, the stuff he was doing was incredible, you know. Right. And so it showed his vulnerable side, it showed his human side, and it showed that a lot of the things that he went through as a young producer and trying to get in the game and dealing with money and ego and discouragement and just the ups and downs. Like I realized that a lot of producers go through the same thing. So it made me kind of realize, man, that's kind of normal. It's, you know, it's not anything that nobody doesn't go through. So I recently finished his book. I read Miles Davis's autobiography, which man, that book was amazing. I actually took notes on that book. And the thing about these books, they actually tell you tricks and secrets in the book while you're making music. Or I read another book I use is a book called The Manual by a group called KLF from Europe. KLF was a dance group from Europe. They had a song called 3 a.m. Eternal, and they had another record. Well, if you Google them, they had big hits back in the 90s during that I Got the Power Snap era. And I read their book, and the book, The Manual, they actually walk you step by step through how to make a #1 pop record and get it on the charts. So they actually walk you all the way from how much it costs to buy your equipment to how to actually create the song, how to format the song, how to mix and master the song, how to get it pressed up. Then it gets into the business side, how to get it to a sales force, how to that was the old model back in the day, but some stuff never changes. So I read that book, and like I recommend everybody read that book, The Manual by KLF. What else? Man, I've read a lot of books about the game, but those are the ones that really had an impact.
That was good. Because you just went over different genres and artists from genres that you're not necessarily directly in. Mm-hmm. So that was good to let the people know, because you know me, I'm a book writer, all of this, but I'm also an MC. Me and Detroit Red have done work together. As a matter of fact, one of the top tracks that niggas mentioned is the Cult Leader.
Oh yeah.
He produced that joint. Okay, let's talk about it, my nigga. Let's talk about it. Where's the Onyx tablet up in this motherfucker? Yeah, he did the Onyx tablet. He did the Cult Leader. He did the Born Again. He did the what was the other one? The My Patient. Remember we did the My Patient? Yeah. And then he did
the shit with the Try by 12 sample.
The Try by 12
Flatbush shit. I was listening to that shit not too long ago.
And then he did the Dark Age, which was from the Onyx. I had to do that. So he did those 4 tracks. Hold on, they saying there's a bad echo on my side. Let me see what the fuck is going on.
Okay. That's my shit? Or that's your shit?
Nah, they say it's all good on your side. They saying my shit got a hold on, echo. I probably gotta get headphones. Yo, is it still echoing now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, it's probably because I can hear my voice is bouncing off of yours. You playing me on speaker.
Hold on.
You got headphones?
Yeah, hold on. Let me grab some.
Sorry about the echo, people. I'm brand new with the StreamYard game. but so we gonna get it perfected as soon as he comes in and plugs in the headphones. It's probably not gonna
Let me see.
echo no more.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, good. Yeah.
Hold on, there's some static or something going on.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
You still hear the static, or is it good?
Yeah, they said it's better. The audience says it's better. So
Okay.
nigga gotta, we gotta wear the fucking astronaut kit up in this motherfucker. Yeah, let me do the original hip hop, the original studio hip hop shit. One headphone on the motherfucking ear. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah. So what was I about to ask you next? Oh, give the people your list of accreditations.
Oh man. Shit. My biggest tracks I have to say is, of course, Nipsey Hussle, 50 Cent, Grandmaster D from Houdini, T.I. Well, DJ, I was on the DJ Drama album because that's actually who was coming up with. DJ Drama, Don Cannon. We came up together down in Atlanta. So on that record is T.I., Lloyd, who else? Oh, Paul Wall, of course. Paul Wall, Slim Thug, and then from Houston. Shout out to Houston, man. Shout out to Texas. What else, man? A lot of Dark, man. Willie the Kid. I can't forget Willie the Kid. That's my brother from Michigan. Who else? I got one with Philly Freeway. Wayne. I did a record with Wayne. I was on Dedication 2, Lil Wayne's Dedication 2. I rhymed on that. I never produced a track for Wayne, but I rhymed on that. I got records with Beanie Siegel, Jack Frost, Smith & Wesson, Malik B from The Roots. Who else? I think that's it. If you go to my YouTube, it's called Daddy Red 3000. That's I list everybody on there.
Drop all your info where they can catch you at.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's just Daddy Red 3000 YouTube. DADDY 3000 YouTube. I mean RED 3000.
Okay. So it's Daddy Red 3000.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah. What did you do with Nipsey Hussle since he's the big name and everything?
Well, when I first got put on through Nip through a good friend of mine out of Brooklyn named John Dutch, and so this was right after the 50 record, and so he was fairly new to the game. I think he might have only had, I think Slauson Boy 1 might have been out in another mixtape, and so they were working on Bullets Got No Names. So I actually was trying to get on Before I Self-Destruct, which was 50's last album before he closed out the decade. And so we got one on there, but it didn't make it. It was called, what was the name of that record? We used Michael Jackson. Sunday Morning. That was the name of the record. So me and Cannon got one on there. It didn't go through because of bullshit with the sample clearances or whatever. The record got leaked. And so all of those beats that I worked on, I just was sending them to Nip and sending them to my man in New York, John Dutch, and he was taking them around at the time. I think he was working for Jim Jones. He's an A&R up there, so it just got Hustle in the House got in Nip's hands. So they did that. They called me. They said, "Man, this got to be the single," because at the time he was signed to Epic, so that was gonna be the first single off the album. So I actually did his first single, Hustle in the House.
Yo. Something, the static is terrible.
Hold on. Let me take this shit.
Yeah, twist the cord. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but I think my voice is gonna bounce back and make an echo.
Hold on. What about now?
Yo. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but it's still gonna bounce back. You got another it was probably the connection with the headphones into the laptop. You got another set of headphones?
Yeah, let me try this other shit.
See? I already knew it. The producer gonna have 2 or 3 sets of headphones on him.
Here, let me try the ones I use for the phone. Hold on. Try these real quick. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
But
It's
you can
good.
you can still hear me bouncing back.
Nah, you I can hear you perfect.
Okay, all right. All right, but you don't hear, does it bounce back through the speaker of the
Nope,
computer?
nothing. Nah,
All
you
right.
good.
Well, I'll let the people complain if they gonna complain, because whatever that is. I mean, because I can hear myself bouncing back. So I don't know.
You can hear yourself now?
Yeah, I can hear myself through your computer.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to hear yourself because it's you all the way plugged in now.
Okay. Well, whatever. We'll keep it rolling. But has hip hop let you down?
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say no.
Yesterday you said yeah, nigga. So
I know.
what made you switch?
I said yeah, but then I knew you were gonna ask me that question, and I was thinking about it. And what I understand is, things go in cycles. It has its peaks and valleys. Because when I first started doing this shit, everybody thought it was ridiculous. They thought it like when I first started rapping, everybody thought it was just stupid. It was silly. It was dumb. And now it's amassed billions and billions of dollars, and everybody's doing it, and it's influencing everybody. And at one point, my parents hated Snoop Dogg. Now they like him. They got this love-hate relationship with him. I remember when I brought home the Snoop Doggy Dogg tape and the Chronic tape. Mom went crazy. She throwing it out, throwing it in the trash. We were arguing about it. Now, oh, Snoop Dogg is performing at the so-and-so. And so I'm happy about that. I feel like a gap was bridged. But at the same time, I feel like it's not, how do I put it? I was saying to my man the other day, from New York, I was saying hip hop is gonna kind of be like how the blues was for my dad. Like when we were kids, we wasn't running around trying to go to the blues club and sing the blues. You know what I'm saying? That was older men. They'd be in there with their Santa Claus beers, drinking cognac, smoking a Newport, and BB King would be up there because he was grandfathered in. So even though you might have younger people that knew the blues and knew how to play it, they wasn't getting no big check because everything had already been done, grandfathered in. You had Bobby Blue Bland, this one, that one, and that was it. So I think that's the direction hip hop is going. It's going to get to because people still like the real shit. So it's going to get to a point where I feel like it's going to be kind of like the blues.
Well, here's the question. With the older generations, and for those who didn't like hip hop, do you think they just fell into that space because of society and the whole mentality of you can't beat them, join them type thing?
Yeah, and then I think that one of the things my mom used to always say is whenever somebody would transition out of the rap shit into like owning a bit, kind of like Rick Ross. Like Rick Ross got Wingstop, Rick Ross is doing employment. So my mom likes people like that because she like, see, he left that rap shit alone and he opened him a business and now he's doing. So my mom and my father would respect people once they left. They use the rap shit to make the money and then they go do other things. They get into real estate and things like that. But I think that the thing they didn't like about hip hop was the same things we don't like, the vulgarity. Like, for example, I like Sexy Red. Like I'm a I like I like hoes and shit. So I like all that shit. I love her, man. I love
That is
titties.
haram.
I
No,
love
this is
titties.
haram.
Start for the law. Start for the law, then. But I'm gonna just be honest. Like I
Right.
like women, man. I like how girls look. So
Yeah.
all that Sexy Red, all that shit. I'll be a hypocrite. All that stuff is cool, but there was a time and place for it, and that was the after hours. That's after nigga worked the late shift. He getting off late. That's what that's for. That's not for the children. That's not for my daughter.
that shouldn't be something my daughter hears while she riding to school in the morning. You know, when I was
Okay,
riding,
well, hold on. I gotta interject right here. Can you compare the Sexy Red with the Little Kim?
nah, hell no. Little
Why
Kim,
not?
because Lil Kim had real producers and writers in there. So Lil Kim, I actually like Lil Kim's album. It wouldn't have mattered. See, Lil Kim's first album, Hardcore, was so dope. It wouldn't have mattered to me if she got naked or not. I would have bumped that shit. The beats was slapping. That album's one of the best albums I ever heard in my life. So
Right. Go ahead. Keep going.
that shit was real music. Like niggas was sampling breaks and man, she had like the top producers on that shit. Big was in there with his pen. Like that's some other shit. Sexy Red she just entertainment. It's just for fun. It's like remember 69 Boys, 95 South and all that shit. Shake What Your Mama Gave You. It's that's what I view them as.
That's the
Kinda
one
like
hit
that type
wonder
of shit.
zone.
Yeah, that type of shit. It's just fun little shit. You play it in the strip club. Like let's say me and you, we out in Vegas, we finna go to the titty bar. It's late, kids is in bed. It's daddy time. We finna go fuck with these hoes. Astaghfirullah. You getting ready to go mess with these women? That's what that's for.
No, see.
Then I go repent on Friday. Astaghfirullah.
It's hard. It's hard for me to fall into that zone because a lot of that music feels like it's the social engineering space.
Absolutely.
It feels like a lot of other races, and I don't want to get into the cultural racist relationship. Conversation, but a lot of other cultures accept those one-hit wonders as if that's the totality of black culture.
Oh no, I know it's blaxploitation. I know exactly where you're going with it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it's sort of like a black face that they wear towards us, or they expect us to operate in that format. And these are one-hit wonders for you motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily the essence of the culture. You dig what I'm saying? And well, now that we're going there, where do you think the line was when it went from good music to social engineering?
I think it's always kind of been social engineering because
by a small percentage, but when it went major.
I think when access to the equipment became more accessible, when like I was saying before, how hard it was to put a record out. Now you could make your whole album and throw it up in a week, a couple of days without even leaving your house. I think that when things like this happen, it kind of takes the mystique from it, and it makes it it oversaturates it. Kind of like, for example, back in the day, you had to go see a peep show. You had to pay 25 cents. So you had to leave, get up, go down to the little nasty section of town, pay your money, go behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying? Then Betamax came out, VHS, DVD. Now you got the cell phone. You don't got to leave your house. You can see millions, and you can see anything you want on this phone, and it's oversaturated. And I think it's the same thing with music. It's the same thing with the internet gives everybody a voice. Anybody can get on here and say anything, and that's my issue with the music. It's not so much what they're doing, because all they talking about is sex, guns, and I've already heard all that. I can sit here and name you 100 artists that said the same thing Sexy Red said. Bone Thugs and Harmony has said stuff about eating ass before. People don't know that. Yeah, Lazy Bone told a girl to eat his ass. Lick out my ass and suck my dick until I come. I put it in your face and tell you where I'm from. Come on, man.
On what track was that?
On Faces of Death, on their underground tape. It's called, what's that song? Bone to the bone, bone, bone to the bone, bone, bone.
Haram.
Pussy's stuff for the lobby. Pussy's like a blunt. I take a puff and then Deaf Dick. Look up, Google Deaf Dick on YouTube, and Lazy Bone telling the chick to eat his ass. And it's nothing new under the sun.
This is haram.
It's nothing. Well,
I mean,
remember that word you told me? The osculum infant.
Yeah, there it is. It's volume 2 by the Kicked Out of Heaven at kickedoutofheaven.com. Let me slip in some advertising right here. So if you want to know the origins, the white folk been practicing with the butt munching since 1300s. They have many paintings to support the activity, so it's there. But yo, you can go back to old records like 1930s and 40s, and they talking super grunge.
Yeah.
So that element has always been there, but it's always been a scenario that we want to try to look away from. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something that really shouldn't be publicized. I guess that goes back to religion, where it says, whatever you and your wife do is done behind closed doors, motherfucker.
Right.
Y'all can do whatever the fuck you want to do. So whatever. I ain't in support, nigga. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I agree with that 100%. I feel like I said, there's a time and place for everything. So I agree with you 100%. Things should be done in private, and that's what I started off by saying. Things are not in their proper place anymore. Everything's all over everywhere, and I don't think when I'm taking my daughter to school Monday morning, I don't want to hear I don't even listen to music in the morning. We get up, we pray, have breakfast, and we listening to a lecture, to the news, or we trying to focus. So, but my daughter's at her mama's house. I might creep down the street or something. Sexy Red might be the soundtrack when I'm going around the block to stuff a lot. Whatever.
Yeah. I can't. It's sort of hard for me with the whole Sexy Red Sukihana thing.
Sukihana.
To me,
it's wild. It's wild. It's wild.
It's not that it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes black women look bad, and there's no balance in society to where's my Felicia Rashad at?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. Where's the class at? Where's some Tony Braxton? Where's some fucking, give me some brain.
No balance.
And shit. Yeah, we need a balance
of some Regina Bell, some Anita Baker.
There we go.
I already know where you're going.
Come on, and go ahead.
No, absolutely, and there is no balance, and that's been said a million times. There's no balance in the culture because when we was coming up, they didn't even rap. Like during the day, they wouldn't even let them rap on the R&B song. They take the rap part off. The version with the rap. You remember how R&B songs they have somebody come on and rap? Father MC would come rap on the Jodeci song or whatever.
Man, those tracks were slapping in the 90s.
But that's what I'm saying.
The Total and the Missy Elliott, the Method Man and the Mary J, all of that type of shit. Yeah.
But they would take the rapper off. Like that's how clean they would make it during daylight hours, during prime time. They would take the rap. Remember, you could only say like 3 cuss words on TV.
Well, I remember back in the day, V103 in Chicago didn't play rap at all.
Right.
So when I moved to Atlanta and V103 was playing rap, I was like, whoa, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? So, because rap was only on rap radio stations. They didn't mix them in.
Mm-hmm.
With like the Quiet Storm and the Loose Ends and all of them playing. So it was just ugly. Where do you think rap is at right now? With all the RICO cases and all the killing versus the time period we came up. There was talk about busting niggas' heads, but there was more talk about making money and fucking on your woman too at the same time versus just killing niggas. And these songs nowadays be 100% killing niggas. You know what I'm saying? We left that type of music for like a Brother Lynch Hung. But his name supports that.
Mm-hmm.
And it fit well because he was from LA, and we all knew that it was hardcore murder gang in Cali. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead.
See, that was the thing. It goes from, it's just entertainment. At least they not killing anybody to, they really fucking killing people. You see what I'm saying? And so that's where, like I said, when I first was introduced to drill music, I liked it. The thing that made me fall back was the amount of indictments, the amount of killing, the amount of, once it started to seep open and really influence people to not view it as entertainment. Like, you know, it's, like I said, it's nothing new under the sun. In Detroit, I listen to Esham, I listen to Nodis, Bazaar. I listen to the most insane, sick stuff ever. You know,
ICP.
all of that. I loved all that. I had all that shit, and I still respect my mom, respect my parents. Went to college, graduated. You know, I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna go out and stab you know, like I didn't.
Right, we would listen to that shit and be like, yo, these niggas is wild.
Right.
You know,
It was entertainment to me. It was funny. Like it was like watching Eddie Murphy Raw, watching Scarface or some shit.
Right, or when Marilyn Manson got up on stage and started ripping the pages of the Bible out of the that shit was like, yo.
It was just like, you see what I'm saying? Like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's you. The thing is, let me ask you this: do you think and not to sound cliche, but the lack of fathers not being around young black men is playing a role in them actually going out and doing this shit? Because my father would pull me to the side and tell me them niggas is full of shit. And my brother would pull me to the side. He worked on the radio. He said, I know who writes they fucking check. Them niggas is full of shit. Them niggas ain't got a fucking dime. They're selling New York for 10 cents. Them niggas couldn't buy it. And so it was just entertainment to me. I was like, these niggas, man, you know.
Well, we grew up, there was no money game enforced in rap, you know. Niggas from Scarface to MOP to motherfucking Twister to motherfucking MC8 was talking about an 8-ball or pushing a cookie at the most.
Right.
Niggas was in, you know, you listen to Biggie, he said my mom got the brand new Acura. What the fuck is an Acura nowadays?
Right.
You know, everybody's Bentley, Rolls Royce, supposedly if they own it, you know, and we didn't have that big money kick. As a matter of fact, when the money kick came in with Cash Money, because Jay-Z tried to do it, but Jay-Z was so mafioso that niggas couldn't catch up.
Yeah.
It was a certain type of thinking that he released on Reasonable Doubt that was more mafioso, and niggas didn't know what that shit was. If you wasn't a street nigga, or if you wasn't moving at that layer of thought, you couldn't comprehend it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, people still talk about there's an echo. You got me on speaker?
Just I hear you straight in the headphones. Like there's no
speaker coming off the laptop.
Talk now.
Yo.
Nope, nothing.
Okay,
it's dead in here.
But let me see here. Is it me?
It's dead silent.
It's me.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me adjust something real quick. Let me try some. Let me try to turn my mic down. Hold on. Output, input.
Yo.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but I can hear myself.
Hold on. You shouldn't be hearing yourself.
Yeah, let me see here. Edit mic settings, reduce mic background noise here. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, well, shit. I don't know what to tell the people.
Hold on. Let me make sure I don't have YouTube up on my phone or nothing. Yeah, we good.
Cut it off on your Okay, the echo is gone, they say.
Yeah.
Y'all give me reports now. We trying to give y'all a thorough interview. We don't want echo bouncing around, but I'm new to the StreamYard shit. So, you know, we trying to do whatever the fuck we could do, you know. So where was we at? What was I about to say? What was I about to say with this shit? So yeah, you asked me a question about the masculinity thing or about the whole killing thing and the lack of fathers. You could definitely see it. We wasn't in a situation where we were attracted to a lot of big money. Don't get me wrong, you know, it sort of influenced me to get out there with the yine and do some crazy shit in the streets, you know. But I never had a situation of, oh, we gonna make 100 mil out of the
Right.
game. You know, as a matter of fact, when you was going out to buy your ASRX for 1,200, I was just rapping with niggas beating on the trash can. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know, we be in the freestyle circle. And at that time, it always blew up in my head like, yo, how did these niggas turn into demo tape? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Who knew? And then I heard that, you know, even if you did turn in a demo tape, them niggas got stacks of demo tapes. And then it was like the 15-second rule. If your shit ain't catchy by 15 seconds, we tossing the shit, you know? And then nowadays, the song don't even start until 45 seconds in. You know, they got this whole let the beat build shit. You know, once Lil Wayne said let the beat build, all of these niggas in the rap game is listening to these rappers like these rappers are the executive producers, and they're not. You know, so there's a lot of puppet master shit going on, and when you're listening to an MC, you listening to a fucking puppet. You're not listening to the puppet master. The puppet master is the one who's sitting down making shit go left or right, you know, with program directors and cutting checks. You see what I'm saying? Is the puppet master, which are your Liar Cohens and all the bigger dudes. You dig what I'm saying? So rap, a lot of black males, and Nas said this, that niggas actually became the fathers to a lot of these fatherless children. So they run to the rap shit and they run to rappers to listen to on what to do with life, you know. And if you watch the progression from the last 20 years, it was like, okay, once Bone Thugs put out that Ecstasy song, I knew it was done.
Yeah.
You know, because now it's going past just weed and drink. And that was the status that we was always in, was just, you know, smoke a blunt, drink with the homies, go get some bitches, go back to the crib. That was our club in the 90s. Let's be very fucking clear. And women were down with it. They all had a common phrase that they use: I'll do it if she do it.
Yep. Easy call. Easy call.
Niggas knew, you know. And now, once the whole 112 and the Puffy Jermaine Dupri experiment came down in Atlanta with this whole birth of the club, and now we got the induction of the bitch nigga who, you know, a lot of these niggas who is driving buses and doing all these intermediary jobs, but they have money stacked up, could pay a bitch to smell her fucking feet, you know, and at the fucking club. And niggas on the thugs on the streets, the niggas on the streets is like, nah, you know, ain't none of that shit. Bitch, come over here and get some of this chewing. And they couldn't get none, you know, the bitch is like, nah, fuck that. I'm finna go fuck with these weak niggas, you know, go get paid, go get drunk, and go look fly for the night, for the weekend. You dig what I'm saying? So then after and around that same time is when Bone dropped the Ecstasy track. Once that Ecstasy track came in and niggas was on the X, it was still cool, you know, for a little while. And then right after that, Bush, the war was over with the Iraq, and then the autumn pills hit the street. Right? So you remember this shit. So then this is when heroin music started coming in the game, because all of these pills ain't nothing but opiates, you know. So niggas took the opiates and then they started bragging about, you know, the money they were so-called getting from a multitude of different lanes, you know. And then from the money, we're fucking on your bitch, you know. And now that your niggas is getting caught fucking on their bitch, you got the murder game comes in, you know, and then the murder game comes in, and now we seeing who's snitching, and now it's a snitch game. You see how they did this shit like on a mass level, B?
Oh my God.
It's a mass level system. You see? So now it's all who's the snitch and who's the RICO case, and now we proving our masculinity through murder, you know. And you have to understand that when a male is raised in a childless environment, which you should, I mean, in a fatherless environment, you should watch the documentary by Metallica called, I think it's called Abandoned or something.
I think I saw that joint. Was it the one that came out like the early mid
Yeah,
2000s?
early 2000s something. And
I remember that one.
He was talking about the effects of fatherlessness on a child. One thing about fatherless on a child is that it's an unsatisfactory hamster's wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to trying something and it doesn't work, or to your own mind, it's unsatisfactory. So then you try to do another layer. So, like for instance, you ain't got on no diamonds right now. You ain't got on no jewels. You talk about you be smashing on broads. I do the same thing, nigga. I don't need jewelry and all of that shit. So when these niggas come in the scene and they got 5-6 chains on and you got 10 rings on, who's you doing that for?
Right.
Because you don't need to do that to get bad women, to get beautiful women.
I got a homeboy. He says all the time, man, a female fuck a roach, man.
Right. So you know, she'll fuck you on some cardboard behind Walmart. You dig what I'm saying? So the thing is that because me and you, we grew up in a time where the abandoned house with a mattress on the floor was the lick. What the fuck is we talking about? You know? And so these niggas ain't doing all that jewelry and all that other shit for beautiful women. They doing that shit to poke out their chest amongst other niggas. They trying to prove to other niggas that they are the daddy that they never had. You see, that's
interesting you say that, because when I first started making my rounds in Atlanta, I treated music like, when I go to the studio, I want to get inspired. I really would want to create with people that were a lot better than me, because then I'm not a hater. So if somebody's a lot better than me, I'm just sitting there like,
right. It's build, right.
Right. I'm like, man, I'm about to take this and step my game up. Like, it's still sharp and still. So when I'm in the studio, it's just, I just want to learn, get inspired. I want to walk out feeling great, and then I'm gonna go deal with the females. So it's like, I never really understood with certain individuals why we just couldn't go in, get the record done, do what we got to do, and then you go. Because I would always just, I come in, make my beat or write my song or whatever, collaborate, do whatever, and I'm out and I'm laid up with my woman, chilling. I'm in the bed, like, I'm not finna be around no niggas all night. I'm like this.
That's when I started noticing the studio was when rap was about to fuck up. Mm-hmm. Is when the strictness of the studio started to dwindle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, B, when I walk in your studio and you got a PS5 and a TV set up, I know you're full of shit. Yeah. Off rip, we're not here for music. You're here to try to floss and have the homies chilling. The studio ain't the motherfucking trap house. As a matter of fact, the trap house didn't even operate like that.
Exactly.
I remember when I was younger, there was no video game playing in no motherfucking trap house. And I'll tell you why. There wasn't even no music playing, because niggas could hear the radios from the police soldiers that they was walking around the crib, B. See, the cops had certain types of brakes on their car where you could hear them screech down the block. You do know what I'm saying? So there was a certain type of tire, especially if the ground was wet or something. You could tell the difference in between a cop car and a regular car. And we was alert like wolves, nigga. Our ears were up when it came to the motherfucking trap house. Wasn't no motherfucking. And then after night, the fiends had the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so
them niggas out there, binoculars and all kinds of shit.
Because the fiends had the whistle. The fiends wasn't allowed to come up to the door. You know where I was at. There was no fiends wasn't allowed to come up to the door, nigga. You whistle, and if we don't hear your whistle, nigga, keep it moving. You don't. If you come to the fucking door, we're dragging you in. We're whooping your ass, and we're sending you back out with nothing, B. And we'll take your money, B. You don't get no stones. You know what I'm saying? And that was the rule. So all of this, the trap houses, the cool kicking spot, and all of this, the studio is the cool kicking spot, is for some weak niggas. They don't got no militancy in their operation. You dig what I'm saying? But you see it. How many times have we turned on the World Star Hip Hop or the Vlad TV and we find out one of these MCs is birds? You know? from all the shit. So now,
let me speak on that. There have always been gay people in music, all since the beginning of time.
Mhm.
However, I think a lot of these new cats, they trying to use it. They just using it either to get a bag or they're using it as an excuse for the music not being that good. Because you know, your George Michaels, your Elton Johns, those, you know, what's that other guy? There have been tons of gay musicians. Shoot, Luther, and I mean, allegedly Luther was gay. Allegedly Freddie Jackson's gay. I ain't give a fuck. I got all their records on the show because it's at the end of the day, I don't care what their preference is. The music is slapping. So my issue with the new dudes is I wouldn't care if you're straight or gay. Your shit is just trash. Like you just have no talent. Like so then they, oh, I'm gay, and I mean, get the fuck out of here, bro. I wouldn't care if you're straight, gay. I wouldn't. Shit is whack. It's garbage. Like
yeah, that's that viral thing that people are, you know, they're trying to depend on virality.
It goes back to this, how you're talking about the fathers. It reminds me of a child. He had a rough childhood. Parents got divorced or something, had issues in the home. And so in order to rebel, he runs out, I'm gay now, or I'm you know, I'm in my rebellious phase. I'm gonna tattoo my head, or I'm gonna do something crazy because I'm mad at mom and dad. Or I think that's what a lot of this is. It's just rebellion. And so they're overhyping this gay stuff. They just overhyping everything. I'm like, it's been gay people in music, in the music business since the beginning of time. The music, for me, the music is whack. You know, even though that ain't my preference. I'm strictly about the ladies. But my whole thing is when it comes down to the music and the creativity and the talent, leave all your preference and leave that at the door. Like what you got. Let me hear it. Press play. Fuck all that. I don't care who you go fuck after this. As long as it's not a kid or some weird shit like that. But whatever grown people do in their bedroom is what grown people do. Press play. And they press play on that box and that shit is trash. And I'm just like, get it the fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, that's one thing that has to be faced, but at the same time, it's like too much of a bird in your system indirectly gonna make you bird. You know, if you listen to it doesn't, if this nigga is doing bird shit behind closed doors, nigga, the bird is gonna merge into your system, whether you like it or not. You over here singing the Jolly Niggas words and shit. I don't bro, that's why I just cut the shit off. You know, music, once that Laffy Taffy bullshit came in, I cut it, B. You know, because a nigga like me, I was already in a lot of pussy, and I know what women are. You know, I know what the woman essence is. So you niggas is trying to merge female essence in on the nigga paradigm, and I wasn't feeling it. You dig what I'm saying? And that goes back to what was you saying about the fatherlessness. Like, I remember one time when I was pimping and shit, I had a shorty come back to the crib, was like, yo, it's so funny, daddy. You know, I'm sitting here on stage dancing to Nicki Minaj, and she's looking at the niggas in the audience, and the niggas in the audience is repeating Nicki Minaj's words. So it's a dude, but it looks like Nicki Minaj's words coming out the nigga mouth. And I mean, I missed Nicki Minaj's career. Nicki Minaj, from what I have heard, I can't take nothing away from the lyricism. Her lyricism is potent than a motherfucker. You know, she's up there. She had the right to do the track with Eminem. You know, but
now let me ask you this: Did she have writers though? Because I heard she had writers.
I don't know.
See, that's my thing. Like, my thing with that is when I know you got writers, then I put you in a different.
Yeah.
I gotta put you in a different. I gotta put you in the Beyonce, Will Smith category. I can't put you in the Nas, Cool G Rap, Elzai. I can't put you in that box no more. You got it. You're an entertainer now. It's not wrong with it.
Her presentation was ill. It was new. It was fun. You know, but she emasculated niggas. But go ahead.
Oh, not to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
To be fair, I do the same. Once I found out Kim wasn't writing, I had to do the same thing with Kim. When they said, "Oh no, that was Big's pen," All right, Kim, you over there with the entertainers. You're not a crap. You're not a like Big and the people that really sit down with the pen and the pad and they really and they writing those verses out and it's coming from the heart. It's coming from the mind because I'm a writer, so I know what it takes, what that skill set takes. So it's kind of like I gotta view you more as an entertainer, as a performer, than a writer. Than somebody like um, I don't know, Sky Zoo or somebody
No,
like
Busta
that.
Rhymes said the same thing.
Mhm.
We're not gonna be having no. We can't judge a nigga's bars when you ain't write your fucking bars. Like
That
when it
part.
comes to my whole 11 albums, nigga, I wrote all of my shit, all
Hmm.
my hooks, all my bars was all me, my nigga. I didn't do none of that.
And the amount of output, how fast you work, and the fact that how fast you wrote those books, man, you fucking machine, bro.
Well,
Like,
here's
and
the
and,
thing
and so
behind that.
and so
Go
that's
ahead.
that's what that's what I respect. I respect that like 100% because it takes a large amount of concentration to write a book, to research, to just to write it, to really sit down and write a song, to format it, to arrange it, to come, to go back and edit it, man, listen.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. One thing that allows me to produce on the scale that I can produce is I do not like bullshit.
Mhm.
See, when we first started the whole Yahoo Messenger and the Black Planet days, what it say? They used to put up that symbol, the circle with the slash through and the bullshitting.
Oh
Remember?
yeah.
Yeah, that shit used to be everywhere. And I'm like, yes, I love this zone. No bullshit. Used to be able to get on Black Planet or get on Yahoo Chat, nigga, Macabra for maybe an hour, 2 hours. She was at your door, nigga.
Mhm.
Okay, you was able to go pick her up, whatever the case, in an hour, 2 hours of Mac, and it was, there was a comfortability line. We were still familiar with each other as people. There wasn't all this division with a bunch of different apps and a bunch of bullshit. You dig what I'm saying? So, I don't like bullshit, bro, and I don't like influence neither.
Yeah.
So, I like to keep my things authentic. Even when I sample a track or when I do a sample track. I like to keep that song in the essence and the concept of what that song was,
Right.
but I'm just bringing it to the hip hop situation, and hopefully I'm doing that gracefully. You know what I'm saying? Like I did Sweet Dreams, Marilyn Manson, but Sweet Dreams is not originally Marilyn Manson's song.
Mhm.
It's way older than that. Or when I did the Fleetwood Mac joint, I didn't even ask to do that. A producer dropped that shit on my lap, and at the time I was deep into the realms of the witchcraft, and the stars was like, yo, it's got to be done, because I understood what Stevie Nicks was singing on the hook. You see what I'm saying? And that
Mhm.
was all heavy occultism. So I had to, lay it like it needed to be laid. But I don't like influence. I don't like bullshit. One thing we got to understand about this internet realm is that, nigga, you are stranger danger.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know who the fuck you are. I'm not finna take no advice from you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is you talking about? So if you don't fit the social paradigm of what it is that you're trying to influence or bring some new picture in, like Kanye West. I talk about this shit all the time. The nigga came in with a teddy bear book bag, B. That was the
Yeah.
symbol. Don't fuck with this nigga. Because I don't know nobody had a teddy bear book bag during the days of Freaknik, nigga.
Well, at the time Kanye came out, there were a lot of producers that I didn't feel were getting the recognition they deserved. Um, I like Kanye. Like Kanye's dope to me, but I always kind of felt like he was a little bit overrated because at the time when Kanye was first kind of not first coming out, but when he was first getting that popularity, that mass appeal, Jay Dilla was still alive and kicking. So, I'm from Detroit. I want Dilla. I always thought Dilla would be on the level that Kanye was on.
Well,
Like
Dilla,
that's what I was always looking forward to was Dilla be having that mass appeal. And eventually he did die, so that was that. But that's who I was kind of always looking at. So when everybody was like Kanye, as a producer, I'm thinking like, why would they pick him over JD? Like that's
well, because
crazy.
they wanted chaos and they wanted
Yeah.
to fuck the game up, and they were able to fuck the game up with Kanye,
And
as
not to
we
take
see.
nothing from the nigga. Like the nigga, he got some slappers, but it was just like
Nah, you ain't slapping over the Jay Dilla.
You're not
Jay
better than
Dilla,
you're not better
yeah.
than Battle Cat. You're not better than Quick.
Oh
You
yeah,
know
you're
what I'm
not better
saying?
than.
Yeah,
Don't
come on,
fuck with the
bro.
Battle
Like,
Cat. You're not
yeah,
there. Ant Banks. You're not fucking
yeah,
with the Ant Banks. You're not
right.
fucking with the Dr. Dre. You're not fucking with the Pimp C, because Pimp C used to
Focus.
do right. Pimp C used to do all the beats for UGK, right?
I don't know. Did he? Pimp
That's
C
what
did
I've
it?
heard.
Oh, I never knew that. I have
But
to look into
I knew that UGK had unique sound that wasn't
Beats by the
comparable to
pound.
anybody else.
Beats
Oh,
by the
Beats by.
pound. Like there's so many producers that I studied. Like, I had a conversation with Moby Dick on Instagram because
Mhm.
actually, the song I was on, the Cannon remix, Fiend actually wrote a verse to that before I got on it. I was in the studio with Fiend from No Limit. He wrote a verse for Trick Daddy. He's not a verse. He wrote a hook for Trick Daddy. Trick didn't want the record, and then that's how I ended up getting a verse on there for the mixtape. But I remember I told him, I said, "Bro, what was it like working with Moby Dick?" And I remember Fiend just looked at me like, "Bro, you must really love music if you fuck with Moby Dick, because it's like Moby Dick with them chords and interpolations and re-singing, like that's the type of shit I was really into. It's like, don't get me wrong, Kanye was dope, but I feel like they just kind of took him and said, "Here," and I was like, "Hold on, it's you got this one and this one." It's a lot of other producers that aren't getting uh a big stamp or getting that
No,
platform.
the Alchemists
And
don't
it
get
is.
no stamp.
Oh yeah. Alchemist, yeah.
Yeah, the Alchemists don't get no stamp like he
Shit,
should.
Rock Marcy for that, man. Shit, it's
Yeah,
I could sit here all night and just name producer after
producers that
producer.
nobody's
Yeah,
ever heard. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And when it comes back to the whole Jay Dilla versus Kanye thing, Jay Dilla stayed Jay Dilla. He said, "Nah, nigga, I stand over this MPC and this rack, nigga. I don't
Mhm.
write no bars, nigga." And Kanye, they blew up Kanye in the element of, "Oh, I could do this. I'm multifaceted. I'm a polymath in the game. I write the bars, I do the beats, I shoot the video, I got the fashion line, I do everything, and he burnt his brain out with that. And we can see that now with the position that he's in. His career wouldn't have even be where it's at now if it wasn't for Kim Kardashian going over there saving the Negro.
Yeah, you think so? Or
Um,
do you think they kind of helped each other, like, because I kind of feel like with that situation they kind of
yeah, they kind of helped each other. But here's the back thing. When you talk to people that's like 10 years younger than you, they grew up with the commercialized layer. Okay. Me and you didn't grow up with the commercialized layer. You see, so there was a commercialized layer that came in, and that was that Laffy Taffy joint. That's when Twister got signed to Rockefeller. That's when they started commercializing the shit. Remember, they made that one song with, I think it was Scarface, and everybody was representing each coast and all this other stuff, and they started to merge in rap to be this one a flatlined thing. You see what I'm saying? And that's where the bling bling had made a big punch in the game. And then they sort of shut down No Limit, and they shut down the old world that we came from, where music was a lot more raw, like the Trick Daddy or the original Twister, the Adrenaline Rush, and all of that type of shit, the MOPs and all of that. They were the niggas who were of the originality of the essence of hip hop. Then they started to commercialize the shit, and Kanye was like the leader in that commercialization, or not even the leader. He was more like he came in halfway of the commercialization. You see what I'm saying? And said it was okay to be commercial. And now and then at the same time, they legalizing marijuana. So now we got all these suburban kids trying to act like they super thugs because they can smoke some legal weed, and they fucking listening to these commercial ass niggas like this is black culture, and everybody wants to emulate how black males operate.
right.
And that's not the case. And now the game is all fucked up, because we got the door open to a bunch of wannabes. And they don't even know they wannabes because they grew up underneath the commercial side of shit. So it's like, if you haven't heard, 666 Mafia back when they had 10 fucking albums out on the underground, remember that shit?
Oh, absolutely. And so those are the things I was looking at, just as a young cat, the independence, the self sufficiency. You know how they would get together, the camaraderie, and they put their records together. Everybody had their turn. You know, they come out as a group, and then this guy would branch off. He'd do his album, and Koopster would do his album, and Pat would do, and there was, you know, everybody got their chance to shine. And I think that's what I like so much about Nipsey's model with the All Money In model was I felt like there was getting ready to be a resurgence of that. And you had Nip, you had Jay Stone, you had Pac-Man, and you had Don. It's so many great artists out there in West Coast, out in LA. And I was always upset because I said this is taking it to the next level. You know, you keeping the funk in there, you keeping the chords, the musicianship, the concepts, just and I'm not gonna front, man. When Nip died, I kind of felt like, man, like, you know, they trying to, like, I felt like they was really trying to crash this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that I was so glad to be a part of that. You know, like when I was you know, the part I had in 50 shit. I was so glad to be a part of that. I know everybody doesn't like 50, but as a producer, it was easy to make that kind of music because, you know, they know music. You know, Nip knows music. 50 knows, you know, more about music than me. So it was just easy. It was easy to produce for them because I can listen to stuff I want to listen to and I can get inspired and I don't got to make the little deep, 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 and click and drag and take a nigga sample and throw the same 90 Metro Boomin trap 90. Like, you get to be creative, you know, and you send the beats out, send the packs out to these guys, and you hoping like, man, oh, I like how you flip that Keith Sweat sample. Or I like how you flip that Bobby Womack shit. Like, they know where I got the shit from, how you shot. Like, that's the type of shit I like, man. Like,
now, one thing I like about 50 is I never really listened to 50, and I'll tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I'll tell you what I like about 50 Cent first. I like the way he publicized the business line.
Mm-hmm.
He publicized the major hustle line, okay? And yeah, he did pimp the rap game in a perspective when you understand what true hustling is. And he had his hustle on front line. He didn't hide his hustle. He was like, yo, nigga, vitamin water, nigga. Yo, nigga, we got to go do the TV show over here, nigga. Yo, we're going to do the G Unit over here. We're going to do the clothes over here. We're going to do the This Is 50 TV over here. He let you know this is hustle. This is it, nigga. I'm getting the money. You dig what I'm saying? And then he kept it thorough. I didn't like the way he was brought in the game. And I'm not talking about This Is How You Rob, because I love that shit. That created a big rumor in the game. And he was the first one to really come at it. But the way Eminem sort of cloaked him with the Tupac energy, and Eminem did that Tupac movie and did all the beats for the Tupac movie, and then tried to merge the whole Pac getting shot 9 times and 50 Cent getting shot 9 times and trying to merge that shit. I didn't. You know.
And I remember we talked about that too when Get Rich was first dropping. We talked about the similarities, like, oh man, this is kind of like Pac all over again. And I remember it was All-Star Weekend in Atlanta at the time, and we was out there passing out CDs. We was boots on the ground trying to get our shit off. And I remember everybody, oh, I heard 50's in town. I hope they don't do them like they did Pac and Cali. Like, they kept trying to put that Pac thing on him. And
now, if anybody represents real muscle out of New York, it's 50.
Right.
You know, it's 50,
just
it's DMX, it's Busta Rhymes, it's MOP, it's Onyx. Those are the niggas that represent New York muscle. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm saying just to see him move away from that and just go into it's inspiring. It's crazy just to see him go away from that and just become everything that he's become. Like I said, it was fun to be a part of that era in that time because it was easier to create music. I mean, it's easy to create music now. I go in and make the shit I want to make, but there was no pressure. You know, everybody was in agreement. It's gonna sound like this. We're gonna make it like this. You know, it was simple.
Yeah,
you know,
but
you go in the studio, you like this all night.
Right. And then 50 Cent, he didn't carry on with the original New York sound neither, and I do respect that. You know, because if you pay attention to the Mobb Deep in the early Jay-Z, there was all the Italian violin and the Italian sounded music trying to, you know, scratch off the Godfather and scratch off the mafioso of New York, you know, and that's not necessary. You know what
The
I'm
thing I
saying?
liked about Fifth is Fifth he knows all the real producers in the game. Like he was around the real motherfuckers. And same with Kanye. Like all of them, they know the Pete Rocks, the Beatnuts, all that shit. All of the quote unquote underground people. But Fifth, like when I listened to those tapes, he had a wide range, a wide knowledge of music, kind of like people from the Midwest. I could tell he listened to everything, like the type of shit he would freestyle over, and even Dipset for that matter. The type of stuff they would choose to freestyle over, I was like, they listen to a lot of different shit. So you could tell.
Yeah, these niggas is educated niggas. These niggas
like
is
they know.
educated niggas. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Cameron came out and tap danced against the nigga. Like tap dancing is a very ancient skill. Like what the fuck, nigga? And if you were educated to do that as a child, you come from a prestigious background.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
The average nigga is not tap dancing out here. You know, that is a who did that movie Tap with Sammy Davis Jr. and
Gregory Hines.
You know what I'm saying? That was that's a Negro classic film. A lot of people don't even know what that is, but that movie Tap, go look it up if you get the time. You know, somebody mentioned
the Nicholas brothers, Gregory Hines, Savion Glover.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom introduced me to Savion Glover back in the day. Yeah, it's all of that is necessary and vital, you know. Like
it's a part of the essence, bro.
I put my daughter, she's dancing now. I put her on who Debbie Allen is. You know, I put her on the Alvin Ailey school. Like her, you know, her mother was in the dance, Alvin Ailey and all that kind of stuff. Like all of these things are necessary. You gotta take them to the beginning and show them where they're going and where shit shouldn't go. You know,
right?
Like,
and that's why those
right.
one-hit wonders that allow other races to look at us in a specific light and allow other races to try to duplicate our culture sort of, you know, brings the steam off of a nigga's forehead. You dig what I'm saying? Because they don't know a Gregory Hines. It's just like I was at an event here in Vegas where Snoop was DJing. And in the middle of his set, that nigga stopped and played Al Green. Woo! The whole audience was still because there wasn't too many niggas in the audience, but the niggas that was in the audience, and you know, I was backstage with the Lokes, and we was all with that music. We knew what it was, and I was standing right next to a white girl, and she was still. I said, "You ever heard this song before?" She said, "No." Exactly. You don't know our shit. You know, and so when it comes to you not knowing our shit and you want to idolize it or admire it or purchase it, that's cool. But to try to get up here and duplicate it is sort of like a mockery.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And you can't say that with black people in rock and roll because the king of rock and roll is Little Richard.
Absolutely, for sure.
You see, and we could go on a whole list of a whole nother name, a lot of other names from the early 40s and 50s that were doing rock and roll that were black people. You see, and they were the origins of the game. As a matter of fact, there would be no Red Hot Chili Peppers without come on, give me the name.
Jimmy?
No, not Jimmy. Well, Jimi Hendrix, but they were directly under
Little Richard.
P-Funk.
George Clinton in them.
George Clinton, yeah. Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's where Flea wearing the diaper.
Yeah, Flea could play his ass off.
But Flea wearing the diaper gets that from P-Funk and George Clinton.
For sure. Yeah.
He even said that himself.
He's a bad man. He's bad, though.
Like you know? Yeah, Bootsy Collins sat with the James Brown and the George Clinton. You know what I'm saying? Peace to Bootsy Collins. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this rap thing has been a hell of a roller coaster, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, I noticed the same thing with rock and roll when they started to kind of crash that. You know, they started making rock and roll started sounding very pop and very clean, and it started to lose its the griminess and the grit and the authenticity that it had when we were coming up. I
the white male masculinity.
I noticed that shit got real clean and just Like somebody threw some bleach on it. Cause
I'm
when
glad
we
you
were
brought
coming
that
up,
up.
that shit was dirty and grimy and grungy, and motherfucker got the Newport hanging out his mouth and got the 2 women and
The Pearl Jam and what the fuck, the Leonard Skinner nigga, and what the fuck, the AC/DC.
big
What is we
beards and
talking
shit.
about? Yeah, big beard. Now you're talking about ZZ Top and all this other shit. Now see,
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up because it shows that the whole battle on masculinity just ain't hip hop.
Oh yeah,
They
absolutely.
did that with rock and roll too, and they deteriorated the true essence of what rock and roll was. Even though when you listen to rock and roll songs, they're talking about man and woman issues, making love to their woman, chasing a woman, just like original R&B was. You know, even early hip hop. You know what I'm saying? LL Cool J was coming in with those type of songs. "Girl Around the Way" or "Around the Way, Girl." You know, you had other tracks.
Two different worlds. You had
Big Daddy Kane was on the bitch's ass heavy. You know what I'm saying?
oh
Like,
yeah. And that man, Kane, yeah, Kane was ridiculous with it, man. And I think that's the thing when they there's recently a comparison between Kane and Rakim, and I had to give it to Kane because Kane could dance, Kane could go into that lane where he rapped about women, where he could do a record with Patti LaBelle, Feels Like Another One, and then he come tear your ass up on the battle tip. He just come hit you with straight bars and take you out. So I mean, I was talking to somebody about that recently. I said I love Rakim, that's my guy, but I gotta give it to Kane, man.
Kane takes
Kane
the crown
he does
because
a
he
lot.
had Madonna and Naomi Campbell, nigga, in the threesome, nigga.
That boy was going hard.
Okay, so now let's talk about this because I fuck with Rakim.
I love Rakim.
No, here's what I don't fuck with. Here's what I don't fuck with. And this is what made me drop off from KRS-One. This is music, bro. Don't teach me shit. You know, teaching is for the books. That's why I write books. You see, if you gonna learn something, do the due diligence and buy the literature and read the literature. You know, when I'm listening to music, I want to vibe on something. I want to be, because usually I only listen to music while I'm riding in the car, anyways, while I'm driving somewhere or doing some shit. You know what I'm saying? And basically, we're doing what? A testosterone balance. That's what a UGK is. That's what a Snoop Dogg is. That's what a Tupac is. That's what the Onyx or a Busta Rhymes was. It was a testosterone balance. It was a maintenance of masculinity in these songs. When I hear your song, I don't want to hear about how you're the fucking teacher. I don't want to hear nothing about how pyramids was built and shit in the fucking track. And that's what, even though I fucked with X Clan. And the reason why I fucked with X Clan is because they beats was out of this world.
Oh yeah.
And they had that 1980 funk. They had that P funk, because a lot of people, because George Clinton, people like
And brother, not to cut you off, Brother Jay's solo album, the Dark Sun Rider shit, I listen to that a lot. Like, the production on that is crazy. It's slept on, but man, the beats
and a lot
on
of
that
people,
joint.
a lot of people like to merge George Clinton with the West Coast because Dr. Dre sampled a lot of George Clinton, but George Clinton is originally from Jersey. Yeah, George Clinton is originally from Jersey, and George Clinton started out as one of those I forgot what they call them, the type of singers with the hat and had a little ribbon around the hat, from the early 30s
a doo-wop singer,
doo-wop singers or something like that. He started out like that. He didn't start out with the funk,
the Four Freshmen or something like that.
Right. And X Clan is from Jersey, if I'm correct, right? X Clan is Jersey, right?
No, Brother Jay is from, I think they from the East. They because Professor X's father is Sonny Carson. You remember the movie The Miseducation
I didn't know
of Sonny
that.
Carson? Yeah, Professor X, he's passed, but yeah, his father's Sonny Carson. So I think they from East New York, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check that and see if that's true.
Yeah, I thought they was from Jersey from what I heard, but
yeah, as far as I know, they from Brooklyn. Yeah, I mean X Clan was a serious group, and the production was man.
Yeah, they had
Production was
seriousness
phenomenal.
embedded in, and I'm glad you said seriousness because all the MCs that we grew up with had seriousness in their presentation and in their voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's another thing why I can't listen to a lot of the rappers from the last 20 years. Niggas got squeaky voices like they never went through maturity. See, and I noticed they was playing with that line with the nigga Lil Wayne. And that's what sort of made me fall off from Cash Money because you got Lil Wayne up here talking to all this gangster shit at 10, 12 years old. It's like, nigga, you're 10, 12 years old. Now, don't get me wrong. During the time periods we came up, 10 and 12-year-old
Niggas was putting in work.
niggas was putting in work, but you was already with millionaires.
Right.
So how much work is you putting in? You with millionaires at 10, 12 years old, B. You know, and then you're on the front line in front of the whole fucking globe. You know, and then the way Baby did Lil Wayne after Hot Boys dissipated, it was just but we could see the true talent in Lil Wayne with the YMCMB, who came in and crushed the game, and they made good music until the music got too degenerate with songs like Gonorrhea and Truffle Butter. And what the fuck was that shit? Like
Truffle Butter. Oh, yeah. Lord have mercy.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like,
yeah,
that got too sickly.
Yeah,
you know
that was over my head. Yeah, that was too much for the kid. And I let you know, I'm from the birthplace of so-called horrorcore, and so I was already used to hearing niggas get on a track and try to say the most absurd shit ever. You know, like I said, with Bizarre from D12 and ICP, and we had House of Crazies. We had a lot of different groups up there, and everybody wilding out, trying to say the most the shock value. That's the
shock value, right?
So it eventually went from the point like, when is it going away from shock value and you really on this type of shit? Like, you're not playing, like you serious. And so that's where now, you know, I'm at the age where I kind of draw the line, and I'm careful about. I make myself aware, but I'm careful about what I take. You know, what I feed my mind. I'm very careful about it. I tap in just to be aware. Like, okay, this is shit you niggas is on, and then if it's getting too crazy, I'm like, I'm good. You know, I gotta fall back. You know, and then plus it's just nothing impresses me or shocks me anymore. And I feel like people just doing anything now just to try to get a look or try to get some attention. And it's like, bro, get out of here with that shit. Like, it's just,
right.
It's ridiculous.
Let me ask you this, because the Alchemist brought this up, and this is a very valid point. This is something I've been leaning on lately, because when I've been going out to clubs and going to sceneries lately, and I don't hear no Lil Baby being played. I don't hear no DaBaby being played. I don't hear no Gucci Man or no Yo Gotti getting played. I don't hear no Future getting played or Drake getting played. They're only playing 90s shit.
Oh, really?
Bro, if you look at what's going on right now.
You talking about on the strip? When you out on,
yeah, when I go to the strip, when I'm going to events and shit, nobody's playing none of that shit.
Man, when I go on the strip, all I hear is ooh. That's all I hear.
That is a different lane than just direct rap of what we're talking about. They'll put on some Snoop, they'll put on Dre, they'll put on 50 Cent, they'll put on Missy Elliott, but they don't play none of that shit, that heroin music from the past 20 years. And it's and there's proof in the pudding, because little baby, like the Alchemist just said right here, Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo are canceling their shows because they can't sell tickets, but 50 Cent's last lap tour is just got sold out.
Well, because the people that are fans of 50 Cent, such as myself, I can afford to go to a 50 Cent concert. I can afford a Beyonce concert. So
and them niggas are going to make sure that it's affordable. Keep going.
It's the demographic. So you know, like I'm looking on my timeline, all the girls that went to the Beyonce concert, they got good jobs. They city council women and lawyers, and you know, got PhDs, so they can afford the Beyonce ticket. They right up there in the front, screaming and shit. The people that go to the 50 Cent concerts and the Rock Marciano show, man, these people are real estate owners. They own nightclubs. They own bars. These niggas got some paper. So who are these individuals? Who is their demographic? Who are they marketing to? Because I'm gonna be real, no disrespect to the little babies and them dudes, but I tap in, see what they doing. I might bob my head a little bit, but man, I'm not running jogging to that shit. Like when I'm going,
that shit don't got no hold
when
on
I'm
it,
going
bro.
jogging,
You's
I'm
a squeaky
listening.
voice ass nigga. Your voice never, your fucking balls never fell out your intestines, nigga. Like I don't listen to no fucking weak, weird ass sounding. I don't listen to no auto tune rapping ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? I did 11 albums of slappers, nigga, with no fucking auto tune, nigga. You know, I'm not even finna look. When I listen to your music, B, I'm not going to overwork my brain to try to figure out what the fuck you're saying.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
Well, the thing is, they rely on more on the technology than on themselves. You know, like, we from the era you rap in the mic, you control your breath. You don't want to fuck up because you're gonna have to do it again. And they sitting there, and I don't have an issue with technology, but technology is supposed to, it's a tool. It's supposed to enhance. You're not supposed to rely on it. You're supposed to rely on yourself. Technology is a source of convenience. Like, so now I don't have to keep doing it a million times. Well, I may do it a million times just to do the verse over and over again and sing the part over and over again, just to practice it, just so that I could become more, so I could improvise a little bit and memorize it better. But I think people rely too heavily on the technology. Like, people get very lazy. They just go in blah 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 blah, and they do whatever, put the record out, and then go do some stupid shit and go viral. Or they do a TikTok dance, and the chick in the living room shaking her ass to some little goofy ass song, some nigga goo goo gaga and all that bullshit.
Now,
and that's it.
Now somebody says something about me real quick, so I got to clear this up. They said 720 doesn't like East Coast rap. My last album, Back to the Future, was more East Coast sounded than any other album that I've produced. So let's go over some MCs and some shit that I sat with during the East Coast reign. I fucked with that No Way Out album. You remember that one?
Oh, Puff, yeah.
Yeah, that shit slapped.
Puff
You know,
shit, yeah.
I fucked with Fuji's The Score. I bought It Was Written with Nas.
Okay.
I fucked with The Reasonable Doubt. I fucked with what was the Blueprint. I also fucked with the Watch the Throne album. That was creative. It was new. I love that shit. The Watch the Throne album was phenomenal. Who else? I fucked with MOP. I fucked with the early Buster, the Woo-Ha Buster. You know, Buster was phenomenal when he came in with the what was that one song? LL Cool J, Buster, Craig Mack, LL Cool J.
432.
Flavor in yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, I fucked with the LL Cool J. I bought the Mr. Smith album. So there's many MCs off the East Coast that I sat with. I fucked with Mobb Deep on their LPs. I never really listened to a whole Mobb Deep album. I don't got the infamous in me.
I was a heavy Mob head. Yeah, like because especially the first record, not the first, the second record rather, because the first record was Juvenile Hell. I like Juvenile Hell. I like the production on there. It's got that early '90s kind of bounce, that headbanger bounce. But the second album, and the infamous and Hell on Earth, man, that's like peanut butter and jelly, man. I gotta have both.
I fucked with the Hell on Earth, but another classic album out the East Coast that I sat with was Junior Mafia Conspiracy, nigga. That album was nigga.
Yeah,
then damn near all the early Bad Boy was hot. I fucked with DMX heavy.
Did you fuck with Master Ace?
That's Wu-Tang, ain't it?
Nah, Master Ace Incorporated. Master Ace was a member of the Juice Crew, and then when he went solo, he had Slaughterhouse. So he had Lord Digger. Lord Digger actually produced a lot of tracks on that first Biggie album, and I could kind of see they did an interview about him, about Lord Digger producing for Biggie. And now when I go back and listen to that album, I can't unhear it because it sounds big shit. Kind of sound like that early Master Ace Slaughterhouse shit. Check out Master Ace. He's from Brooklyn. But I was like, damn, that do kind of sound like that early Slaughterhouse. Like, especially when he did the Give Me the Loot. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. I'm like, that shit does kind of sound like a Slaughterhouse type of Master Ace.
Yeah, I mean, Go ahead. Go ahead.
I could tell Big was studying a lot of his peers around New York, just some of his cadences. Like he was real slick with it. Like if you didn't pay attention, you wouldn't notice it. But like especially J. Rue the Damager, I think that's where that whole thing came in. I could hear like he rapping and stop kind of like J. Rue and then kick the rap again. I was like, he kind of was.
You can hear the
a little bit.
jazz that all of them niggas is raised off. It doesn't matter
oh,
what
yeah,
borough them
for
niggas
sure.
came from. They all sampled from hardcore jazz. That's super old. We talking about like early 1900 Nat King Cole time shit.
Do you
Go
know
ahead.
Rakim said that's how he would kick his rhymes as if he was a saxophone over the beat. And so, yeah, I think that's why I liked him so much because, like, my pops was just force feeding me jazz, like hard bop shit, like not even not what he called ice cream jazz, not fusion, but just hard bop, like hardcore shit, like Dizzy and what's his Miles at the Nighthawk and Train Monk and Cold Train and that type of shit. He, what's the other guy? Candy Lee Morgan, the guy that got shot, Clifford Brown. All that shit. Pops would just force feed me hard jazz, hardcore jazz.
Right. I grew up off of R&B mostly. It was R&B from the 60s and 70s. And I mean, my dad played a lot of jazz, but it wasn't like names that he could kick off the top of the dome. He would just turn on the jazz station, or he would keep the Weather Channel on all day. Because remember back in the day, the Weather Channel used to just play jazz.
Yeah. That's what my pops used to call ice cream jazz. He called that like that's more like fusion, contemporary jazz. So it's kind of like with the loud ass whiny saxophone and nigga playing the synthesizers in the back. It's not kind of sound like R&B, like 90s contemporary R&B, and a nigga playing the saxophone all loud in the back. I actually like a lot of that shit. My pops used to not like it because he's from like he would kind of compare that to what. See, the funny thing about jazz is he would compare contemporary jazz the way that we would compare like today's new rappers. Like he was in the more the hard bop, the straight ahead jazz. So Kenny G and Gerald Albright and even Roy Ayers, who I love to death. That's one of my favorite musicians. My dad didn't really like Roy Ayers because my pops was into some real hard shit. And that's kind of how we were with hip hop, is like once a lot of the more polished stock sound type of shit started coming out, the breakbeat dudes and the guys that was more into the funk in the 90s type of shit, we was looking at that shit like, oh, that shit soft, it's weak, it's pop, it's too polished. We like that hard shit. So it's interesting how things go in cycles. But yeah, jazz is.
Oh, yeah, I mean, RZA, I would tell you what happened with me and Wu-Tang. Like, so my brain is built like UGK. Okay, you have to be on rhythm, loud. You know, it moves like the ball over the words. That's how music flows. There's a congruency there, and that's what I understand. That's another thing that made me step back from the game. And about when all that smoke perp shit came in, or I forgot that nigga's name.
Smoke
OJ the Juice Man.
Oh yeah. From Atlanta. From homeboy from Atlanta. Yeah.
Right. Them niggas started rapping off beat. Remember, there was like a whole couple 2-3 years where the beat patterns was off. And niggas was rapping off the beat pattern. Now, what people gotta understand about music is that the original beat is your heartbeat, my nigga. So if you listening to music that's off beat, then guess what's gonna happen? It's gonna incorporate sickness and make your heartbeat beat off beat, because the rhythms in your brain are thinking off of beat. You know, there's a synchronicity. It's sort of like skating. You have to have a flow. You have to have a rhythm with it. You dig what I'm saying? So Wu-Tang intentionally came in with this, I'm gonna rap off beat shit. And Method Man, that's why his name is Method Man, was the only one that came in on beat. Method Man and ODB. And I was fucking with. And you God stays on beat. But the rest of them niggas don't really stay on beat. And
you don't think Raekwon stays on beat?
I like Raekwon when he raps with Outkast.
Oh, wait. Hold on, bro. My favorite MC in Wu-Tang is by far the GZA. You don't like the GZA?
Oh no, GZA is phenomenal. But One thing about I've never seen a full record come out of GZA. He has a couple of albums,
Liquid Swords. Liquid Swords is a classic.
but he has.
Five stars.
I've heard these songs with GZA where he used like all the fucking Hollywood actors' names. Have you heard that shit?
He used to do that all the time.
That type of shit is just woo.
On Liquid Swords, he had a joint called Labels where he named all the record labels. You gotta check out Liquid Swords. He's
I
Tommy
fuck with
Boy,
GZA.
Geffen, Def Jam. Yeah,
Right, I fuck with GZA, but he didn't really have that like a ODB or a Method Man. And when the show, album, and movie dropped, remember the show?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the jealousy in all them niggas towards Method.
GZA he's straight edge. He's a rapper's rapper. He's a writer's writer, a rapper's rapper. So the thing I like about GZA's a straight technician. Like his voice, he's like a kind of like Terrence Crawford. He's not very animated, not very flashy. He just get in there, get the job done, knock your ass out, and go to the crib.
And that's why he's a professor now.
Yeah, that's what I love about GZA. Like he just.
And that's why GZA is a professor now. You know, peace to the GZA who is in the academia field, you know, collecting the checks out of the Harvard. You understand? But besides that, Method, I saw too much jealousy towards Method Man because Method Man had the shine.
Oh, you talking about when they was arguing on the train?
On the show movie and just the way the whole thing was moving. I saw the jealousy towards Method. Right. Method had so much shine that isn't Shaheem like Method Man's cousin or some shit like that?
He might. Shaheem is from he's from Staten Island. I think he might be related to them some way. You know, everybody's kind of somehow connected or somehow related.
Yeah, it's all types of nepotism in the game. You know,
oh yeah,
the nepotism is ridiculous. Yeah, it's all fucking shit. So I fuck with ODB.
He's from that neighborhood though. He's from out there, so they know him since. As a matter of fact, I saw an interview recently where he actually had his record. He said he had his deal before all them niggas, except for of course like GZA and RZA, because you know they got signed. They were signed to Tommy Boy back. Well, GZA was Cold Chillin' and RZA was Tommy Boy, so they already had deals way back in the day. But Shaheem said he got signed before Wu-Tang, I think.
And Shaheem, they were trying to bring Shaheem at the same time they were ushering in the kid MCs with the crisscross and all that other type of shit. But before that stage, I fucked with Method Man. His shit was knocking. I fucked with ODB.
Oh yeah,
not only because of the rhymes, but he said some real hardcore iconic bars for number one, and then for number two, he had a freedom that the rest of them niggas didn't have. And that's the same shit that why I fuck with Busta, because Busta came in with his own clothing line. He was like one of the first niggas to really do that shit, and his clothing line was so unique that it was automatically like Gucci level. But you saw how the industry shut that shit down, right? And then what really pissed me off is what I've learned recently about Wu-Tang is remember when they had the Wu-Tang clothing stores?
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, they had Wu wear.
Bro, that nigga Raekwon said on an interview that every member from the Wu-Tang at that time put up 40,000, gave it to RZA. RZA gave the money to whoever to start up the Wu-Tang clothing stores that was worldwide. Them niggas made 25 million off that shit. And not one member from Wu-Tang got a check cut. See, it's shit like that, B, that makes me just
Wu wear that definitely should have been a lot bigger, because I remember when that shit started. I remember that single. I had the cassette. You remember they had a promotional tape and it had the Wu-Tang jersey. I still got that tape. And I remember I was so happy because I always wanted to wear the Wu-Tang Scullies and shit. And, you know, and the fact that it didn't, and that was a beautiful time for that shit to take off, and the fact that it just didn't do it, and then you know, like what you just said with shit happening with the money, I think we set ourselves back so far just over little silly shit.
Man, when you look at the details,
so much bigger.
This is what we're looking at, right? Things could be so much bigger. I'm glad you said that. When we're looking at it, we're looking at black male respect towards black male,
like,
and then we're also looking at
feet.
Right, and then we also looking at the lack of black male due diligence. It is your responsibility in business to do your own due diligence and to understand the paperwork. And that's a lot of backlashing we had to take throughout the years to actually get to that point of exception. You know, a lot of things was done with, I grew up with you, nigga. We've been through thick and thin, nigga. Do me right. You know, I'm chilling. Let me go do my artistry. I'm supposed to get paid on the back end. Now, what a lot of niggas don't get with being an MC is like, when you do these concerts and shit, B, you got to pay the light niggas, you got to pay the concert stage nigga, you got to pay the stadium, you got to pay security, you got to set up chairs everywhere, you got to purchase stairs, you got to feed your fucking crew. All of those are expenses that the artists don't understand.
Other people's money, and
Right.
and I'm gonna tell you this as a from my time in the game. I was very young, and everybody say that shit. I was young, but it's so true. It dawned on me one day once I seen all the money that has to go into, because I even think back to when I first started making records, all the money that had to be invested, buying the equipment, mixing, mastering, doing this. Then you gotta market and promote and find demographics and get this shit to the people and hope they buy the shit. Then you see what I'm saying? And then you might be using credit. Somebody might loan you money. You know, it might be a street nigga might here. And then this guy over here, he's a banker here. It's other people's money. And so
Right.
when you fuck up other people's money, and then you know, you got some guy, he's just a rapper, he don't do shit. He just come in and do one of these and
See,
mumble.
the other people's money line is what enforced the gangster field in rap. That wasn't, that we don't actually know if it was there during the 90s, but we definitely know it's there now. There's a street gangster layer, and then there's a Jewish gangster layer. You actually got two different layers of gangsters that you got to go through before you go ahead and get to the big screen. You know, like the little babies and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get validated and go through that battlefield, nigga, you not in.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just a bottom line with the system. And niggas is gonna test you in all types of ways. This little fraternity hazing type shit that goes on. You know what I'm saying? All types of fucking weird shit that I think is actually unnecessary. It is necessary. I understand what they're doing. They're building the thick skin on niggas who don't got thick skin. But then at the same time, through development of thick skin, you destroying a motherfucker. You know, and go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead and finish.
I mean, but you know, you destroying a motherfucker, and a lot of people just ain't got it. A lot of people, you know, I mean, out of the rappers that we mentioned and the rappers that you've seen, I'm talking to the audience here. There's 100 more motherfuckers.
Oh yeah.
When you fucking around with this entertainment shit, you know, it's only like 2% of the ideas actually hit the front screen, you know. And we're not just talking about music. We're talking about TV shows, sitcoms, movies, theater plays, the whole line. 98% of the ideas don't ever make it. And about maybe about 30 to 40% of those ideas get financed to make it and never make it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of money wasted, a lot of time wasted.
It's business.
But yeah, it's business, and it's chaos. It's the Wild Wild West. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main thing is just trust. Because I remember somebody said that to me. They said, "Do you have a problem with control?" And I said, "No, I don't have a problem with. I don't have control issues. When I tell somebody where I want to go, I have to trust that they're gonna get me where I want to go. So if I trust that you can take me if I tell you where I'm trying to go and you say you can take me there, and I trust you, then I'm trusting you, you know. And if you violate the trust, then it's just violated. It's never about control, because I know I definitely don't know it all. I don't know half of it. I don't know a quarter of it. Like just the amount of success that I was able to have, if that's what you want to call it, as a producer, everything just had to do with persistence and timing and being around the right people at the right time. and just that's really it. It was I mean, it's producers that's a million times better. It's musicians that's better than me. Not like I'm a dope motherfucker, not to take nothing from myself, but it's people that have way more knowledge of music than me. They know more music theory, play more instruments, can sing their ass off, know how to mix, engineer, and everything. And they never got an opportunity because they just weren't where I was at when the opportunity presented itself. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you.
Mhm.
What he's saying is you got to be a floater, and it was way easier to be a floater back in the day than what it is now. And
Mhm.
even when you're a floater, you still got to have them fucking Taurus horns on your fucking head. And as soon as you see that opportunity, you have to
You
charge.
gotta go.
You right, you have to disseminate a motherfucker and remove people out of your shit. You have to be brutal.
Let me cut the light on. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, cut the light on. And that brutality layer right there could end up being beef. It could be end up being a lot of different layers of shit that could go down, and it gets ugly. That's where you see the shootouts. That's where you see all the dumb shit at, because there's conflict and people want to be at the top, and a lot of people feel as if they deserve shit because of the time spent being in there. You got people who trying to be in the rap game for 20, 30 years and don't got a lick of bars, don't got a lick of talent, don't got a, like the Mad Rapper. That's one of the most funniest.
Yeah.
The Mad Rapper skit is one of the illest skits in hip hop, nigga.
You know, I went through a phase of that briefly. And then, like I said, once I understood, I had to think back to that time, how much money is being invested, how much money is being put up, how much time is being invested, how much energy is being invested. It really humbles you down and makes you a little more appreciative, because it's a lot of hands, it's a lot of hands in the pot, and it's just a lot. And you got to be in it for the long haul, and trust is key. Like trust is
Be
trust is key.
70 to about maybe what? 80% of the interviews we've watched online is the big body gangsters, the rapper gangsters are complaining about how they got robbed by the label.
Hmm.
So then how far is your gangster if you're getting robbed by the label, B?
Yeah.
And then how much work you didn't put in and you didn't get no check, B? And you stuck still pushing weight. And niggas got to go to podcasts, and like the nigga Nori said, he said, B, niggas is getting signed to contracts that's like triple life. Nigga, you don't get no royalties from your shit. Your children don't get no royalties for your shit. None of that. You have to die 3 times, nigga, before you can start getting money.
Hmm.
You see? So, and when you really look at the numbers and look at it from a business perspective, you damn near got to be retarded to want to get inside of hip hop. And that's what makes it ugly. I understand what a product is, nigga. It's ABC and you get paid. That's every single system out here, except for entertainment.
Well, I think that as long as you don't have any delusions of, you're not delusional, and you don't have any expectations, I think you can always a hip hop album or any music album is a product. It's like a book. So if you have, if you paid your bills and taking care of your kids, and you everything's straight, and you have money to invest in your dream or your craft, I don't ever think it's wrong to pursue your dream and invest in your dream, because that's what keeps you going. That's something that'll make you get up. If you believe in your music, you passionate about your music, man, and you excited about it, you love it, that'll make you wake up in the morning. So I would never tell anybody not to pursue their dream, but you gotta be realistic. And I think the better approach is to put your own money up, or get with a team of people you know and trust, and try to do as much as you can with your own money first. And then if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, I know this shit is cliche, but if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're making a little bit of noise, and you targeting the right demographic, people will take notice. People will start to try to get down with what you're doing. I mean, especially the society we live in today, where everybody's trying to jump on everybody's wave, and everybody want to be next to everybody and take a picture with everybody and be seen. Niggas will go take a picture with Drake and then be talking about we working, and nigga, you was just at the concert. You ain't working on shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, just fake shit, man.
A lot of MCs. I mean, a lot of people have done that with me too. Or they'll try to duplicate my swag or whatever the case. I'll be looking at a nigga like, B, what the fuck is wrong with you? But then I understand the whole fatherless line and all that other shit. But I'm not another nigga that looks up to another nigga, copies another nigga. So it's sort of hard for me to accept that shit when people do it with me. But I guess I'm supposed to accept that. That's the iconism or the idolization space that a nigga has been put into. It's hard for me because I want everybody to be their own individualistic space.
Right.
That's why I fuck with the Twister. That's why I went over there and fucked with the MCA. That's why I went over there and fucked with the Trick Daddy or the Uncle Luke. Because niggas was on their own shit. You know, it wasn't no want to be like another nigga. You know, like you can't wear another nigga's shoes. You know, and that's just one thing I understand about this shit. You know, so and I want to give a shit. Somebody mentioned Big L in the comments. So I definitely want to give credit to Big L. He was a phenomenal, what you want to call, punchline rapper. He was a punchline MC, and I fucked with him a little bit until, you know, he got written out of the Matrix, I guess. You know.
Yeah, he Big L was definitely one of my favorites. He was a big influence, and he came up under Lord Finesse, who was also a hell of a rapper, hell of a producer. I mean, Lord Finesse is deep. You know, he was out in Cali way back in the day, fucking with Ice-T from Rhyme Syndicate and Dr. Dre. So I mean, it's just different now, man.
You know, I mean, Eazy-E bit off Schoolie D.
You know? With the Boys in the Hood.
You know, Schoolie D was one of the original looking at my Gucci, it's about that time. That was Schoolie D's bars, you know. But then that's what sort of made me fall off from No Limit in them, because True to the Game, which I thought was a phenomenal album, but then when I moved to the West Coast and I saw that these niggas ate up all the Eazy-E's bars for the True to the Game album, nigga, I lost respect, nigga. Like,
man, I will say that about P, man. P was using Scarface's style a lot. The cadence Scarface was using on the Diary, that I caught P doing that. But P was taking Pac shit a little bit. You know, P would kind of move around. You know, even when he was in the Bay, he was over there with EA Ski, who's a hell of a producer, and EA Ski is CMT. And so, you know, I think people just make their rounds and they get influenced by different people, and then they eventually find a thing that sticks. But
go ahead.
Yeah, I remember P. I noticed a lot of Scarface's shit in his cadences, and Pac. What's that song that he had for the soundtrack, the I'm About It soundtrack? If I Could Change. Fast living got me trapped in the street game. Before I die, I hope I have a chance to make a change. Nigga sounds just like Pac. I didn't like that song just for that. I'm like, nigga, you sound like Pac.
When you said it right now, I thought you was gonna reference Face. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was gonna reference Scarface, but the P played a game that was available at that time, and it was a coast game. You know, and this is the rule to business. This is a bottom line rule to business, especially when it comes to entertainment. Is you take something, a product that's already proven in another space, and you move it to a culture in another area where they don't know nothing about it. You see? So that's how he was able to take Eazy-E's bars and put it on True to the Game in New Orleans and move it further south. Because the niggas in the South wasn't really on West Coast music like that. You know, it didn't really get standardized until the whole Eazy-E, Dr. Dre beef and Real Motherfucking G's came out. And that's when Eazy-E was really, really, really blowing up towards the rest of the country. So you could hear something on the other side of the country, or from a cousin or from a relative or whatever, and then bring it to your space, and it'll blow up because it's already a proven product to work. The whole thing is that you just put it in the local fashion, you see, and the local fashion can fuck with it. Because at that time, everybody was only dependent on the radio, MTV, BET.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that was it. But now you really can't do that. I mean, before we go, and if y'all got any questions, go ahead and bring them up.
Yeah, I like
Did you,
that. I like that light in the back, man. In the study, my man got the study.
nigga? This is nigga.
No.
Nigga,
I'm talking about your lamp light.
yeah,
Your
that's what
lamp.
I'm talking about with the
Yeah.
cigar, the whole shit,
Oh,
nigga. You
yeah.
understand me? The fuck is we talking about up in here, nigga?
Looking,
You know what I'm
looking,
saying?
looking very
We put,
prestigious, sir.
yeah,
Yes.
the
So my
study on
dad.
the bitch's ass right here, the encyclopedia on the alchemy of women right here, nigga. You understand? The medieval is right here. You dig what I'm saying? The black man's Bible, the real nigga etiquette, you know, which is the Onyx tablet is up in here. This is the album that Detroit Red produced. He got the 4 tracks on. Y'all go and cop it at theblackmansbible.com. Yeah, we did some classic songs on that one. Especially, go ahead.
There's something we were talking about before this started. You asked me something about Islam and hip hop.
Oh, yeah. What you got to say about that?
What specifically? You said it was something you wanted to ask me. I just can't remember what you said.
Well, what do you think about, Islamic influence on hip hop? And do you think it's a synonymous system? And I'm not talking about J Electronica or, the who else is over there? Loon, didn't Loon go Islam as well? And
Yeah.
I'm talking about, what do you think about Kevin Gates, B? And him claiming that
See,
is it haram? Okay.
this is the thing. Loan is actually the image that he's portraying that's really the bar that I've been reaching for. Just what I'm seeing from him. Because I actually stopped doing music for a while, for some years. I got married, kind of left the music alone, and was really trying to focus on just cleaning my act up. Because at the end of the day, music, especially kind of music I was doing, is a no-go. I would never even sit up here and say like the type of music that I was doing is permissible in Islam, not even close. So, there was a time that, I fell back. My father was sick, so I was taking care of my father. I really just kind of fell back from everything and was focusing on that. So I can't judge. See, this is the funny thing. I'm an Orthodox Muslim. I'm not no disrespect to the Nation of Islam, but I haven't written. I'm not a member of the Nation of Islam. I haven't written my letter.
Right, you're Shiite, right? Right.
No. I'm not Shiite. I'm just Orthodox.
Okay. Okay.
So my thing is, I can't. If Kevin Gates is Muslim, it's not for me to say how true he's being or not true he's being, because the thing with us, everybody has their ups and downs, like any other religion, like Christianity, like whatever, any of those religions from the book, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, where you're supposed to repent for your sins, and that we all believe in Jesus and Moses and the prophets and all that kind of stuff. They all kind of got the same laws, same rules. You commit a sin, you're supposed to repent. Don't get drunk, don't be stealing, robbing, killing, chasing nasty women, and et cetera, et cetera. So I can't really, if the brother, if he took Shahadi, accepted Islam, I can't really judge him. It's not my place to say he's bad and I'm good, or this one's good and that one's bad, because the only way we're gonna find that out is in the end.
Yeah, when you hit the pearly gates, my nigga, But here's another one. What do you think about the Notorious B.I.G. stealing his whole shit from the Notorious B.1 in Mississippi? Have you heard that comparison? You saw that shit?
I saw that shit, dog.
What you think about that shit?
Man, I thought that was some AI.
No,
I thought that was some AI shit, bro.
The culture lines, but he had the same exact sample as the young nigga in Mississippi.
They would have to bring him on for an interview, because first thing I thought was that was some AI propaganda shit. That was like an AI. That we were seeing the first beginnings of AI voice cloning. I'm not buying it. Like, they would have to Doggy or one of them dudes, man, one of them rap interviewer guys, they would have to sit that nigga down and I would have to see it. I gotta see it.
I think it was real big because here's what I understand. It's just like what happened with Puffy and Mary J. Blige's My Life album.
Mm-hmm.
Mary J. Blige did good with What's the 411, but she blew up off of the My Life album. Me and you both know that the My Life album ain't nothing but redid songs from the old school. The whole goddamn album. Right. And that is called Proof of Product. You see? So Biggie, the Mississippi Biggie, he had the same sample of the notorious of the Biggie Smalls Juicy. Same exact sample. So and due to the fact that it was a sampled song, what are we doing again? Proof of product.
Here's a fun fact. Dre Dog, Andre Nicotina. You know Dre Dog from the Bay, Andre Nicotina.
No, I've heard that name, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's a Bay Area rapper. His first album, where he's on the crucifix hanging, he sampled Mtume Juicy Fruit, and I think he sampled Between the Sheets for both of his singles on that too. So I remember hearing that because I remember when those were Biggie's two lead singles, Juicy Fruit and what's the other joint? Between the Sheets, Big Papa. And Dre Dog had those same two records on his shit too. And I think those albums came out close around the same time. Let me check. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it past, that's industry shit. I wouldn't put it past I'm gonna check for
well,
you right
I mean,
now.
it goes past the frustration, bro. You don't want to frustrate yourself with trying to break ground and invent the wheel, my nigga. Reinvent the wheel when you could go with something that's already moving. And that's what has happened. The majority of, KRS-One was James Brown samples. You know what I'm saying? Like the early Puffy was all old school samples. So if he used the Biggie model for the nigga from Mississippi, I think he did.
Here it is. Dre Dog's album, The New Jim Jones, came out in 1993. Big's joint came out in hold on, can you see me? I hope there you go. Big shit came out in 94. Yep, it came out the end of 94. So I mean,
And then the name Jim Jones coming from that cult leader, which the new Jim Jones is in 93, and then we got a new rapper whose name is Jim Jones. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this shit is all called proof of product, nigga. It is a recycling system. And you want to know why it's a recycling system? Because there is a new generation that is going to hold on to it because it's new to them.
Just like my name, Detroit Red.
Detroit Red is recycled. You see what I'm saying? So then here's another one. Do you think Bone stole their style from 666 Mafia? Because I personally have heard early 666 Mafia with the Play a Fly, where they were sounding, they had a style that was just like Bone. And
I would have to, I had to do my research. I think that Bone, someone may have influenced each other at that time. I think by the time Creeping on the Come Up came out, Bone took whatever was, if they did, I don't know who did, but let's say Bone did, for example, they took whatever they were doing and definitely took it to the next level, because that's the whole thing. Like, you're definitely going to be influenced by other things, but the key is to take what's there and elaborate, or say, like, for example, like I may get inspired, be listening to your album. I'll be listening to the Onyx Tablet before I get ready to make a beat. And this is a trick producers do sometimes. If I'm trying to get the feel of a song on your album, I'll take one of your songs and actually put it on the grid, or I'll listen to it and I'll try to follow the tempo. I think Ice-T talked about, he did that with King's Son on an interview, but I'll just follow the tempo and I'll kind of play along with what it is that you're doing. And then I start to improvise. I'll add things, and then I'll change so many things around to where it won't even sound like your song anymore, but it'll have the feel. So the listener will still get that same feel, that same bounce, that same groove, but they will never know that I took it off the Onyx Tablet. You see what I'm saying? Or they would never know I took it from Biggie
And that'll be hard to do with me because I use a lot of different producers from one album.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only one album that I got where it's all one producer, and that's Shaka Zulu. Shaka Zulu came through because one night I just freestyled. I was on the whiskey. I was just freestyling on a YouTube live or whatever. And then the very next morning, 2 different producers had filled my email up with all types of fucking tracks. So I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So then I started listening to one of them, and boy, this one nigga has some solid shit. So I just grabbed 9 out of there. No, I grabbed 7 because the Shaka Zulu, that song, The GOAT, the last song, I made that beat. And then I had the in-house producer who did the sample of Papa.
You did that on Reason?
Yeah, The GOAT was done on Reasons. Yeah,
on Reason?
I fuck with Reasons. I fuck with Reasons. So
yeah, I gotta try Reasons, man. I was looking at that shit the other day. That shit.
I'm about to train my son on how to use Reasons, and I might go ahead and make some new beats for the next album, which will be probably coming up here soon. It's already sitting on my shoulders, so my days in the MC ain't done. But my days with the books, there's too much power, too much energy. Oh yeah, the books did a lot of shit I did not expect for it to do. I didn't know, you know. I know what a product is because I've been selling products for a long time. Whether it was crack, girls, guns, or whatever, I've been there with that. So I understand, you know, the product has to sell itself and you have to provide a solution to a problem, you know, so people can stand in line for your shit and you're not out here trying to force feed. You see, when it comes to green beans in the fucking Walmart, it's not being force fed.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? When it comes to breaking a sexy red, it has to be force fed. Because you see the difference? You see the difference?
Yeah.
So
you want to know what's funny?
Right.
And I hate bringing her up, but it's just when I saw that. I remember I was watching the short and it just kind of slid past me. And I can't remember who I was watching, but we was laughing. So we thought it was a joke. Like we was clowning so hard. We thought, you know how you on TikTok or whatever, somebody make a joke. We really thought it was a joke. Like somebody was just making a joke going viral. And now she's on TV and everybody knows who she is. And I'm just like,
nigga, let me tell you something, nigga.
Like,
I would never, ever wake up to no woman looking like no motherfucking sexy red or no Sukihana. You're not even in the dreams. Like what?
Well, bro, there's a difference between a wife and that. Yeah, nah.
Nigga,
like you said, there's a difference between a Felicia Rashad and then
you're not even finna be after the blunt, my nigga. You're not even after the 40 ounce, my nigga. Like, nigga, what? Man, look here. A woman looking like the sexy red or the Sukihana, I'm expecting, you know, the Wendy's number 7 coming out that ass. The bitch bend over, B.
The Burger King.
Oh yeah, you look like you stank. You look like a whiff, my nigga. Like I don't want none of that
Yo,
shit. Like
that's
you
what I
good.
said when I commented on the Sukiyani video. I said, man, that video looked like it stank like a motherfucker.
B, you are peel the corner in the microwave for 5 minutes. You know, that's what you are. You are TV dinner, my nigga. I'm not, nigga. There is no motherfucking way I'm fucking with a broad at that level.
The gas station frozen pizza.
Man, and the frozen burrito, nigga. Do you understand me?
I'm gonna tell you what they may be to some people. To some people, and it's no disrespect. To some people that may be wifey. To other people, it may be nothing. To some guys, it may be like a fetish. You know, people got all kind of weird fetishes.
No, that's the level that only some niggas can achieve. See,
because you know these rich dudes got all kind of weird fetishes, man. I know a stripper,
but they can. There's
that's
a difference
what I'm saying.
because they got the finances too. You see what I'm saying? Like you and me, for instance, we are only 90210 layer right now. You know, but see, like, so that's the only layer I'm going. Anything underneath that, my dog, you might be affected by the DNA strand. Do you understand? I am not fucking around with low quality bitches who got the fucking genetics of the goddamn projects. I can't do that. I don't want your fucking slime. I don't want your slimer on the Ghostbuster. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing none of that shit. Fuck that shit. I'm cool, bro. I'm good. You know.
Yeah, man.
I'm good, B. I'm good. You know. I can't even, nigga, please. Nah, bro. I'm not. You know, man. Fuck that shit, man. You know, you motherfuckers. Yeah, nah. You don't hold yourself in no class. I don't want none of that fucking none of your fucking gelatin on my goddamn skin, bitch.
Gelatin.
Yeah, your motherfucking shit. So yeah, we got any questions? It's been 2 hours with the guys 720 in Detroit Red. We hopefully me and the nigga got some tracks coming together for the next album. It's been a long time. It was what 8 albums ago, nigga. Since I got some shit. Long? Nigga, the Onyx tablet, nigga, I got 11 albums in the game. So that was like 7 albums ago. You dig what I'm saying? So hopefully, because I've had some fans request that me and you put the combo together. So hopefully we got something spicy coming for the next album. Who knows? I'm not making any promises. Blah, blah, blah. Regardless, this is the homie. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If there's any questions y'all want to slip in real quick, you better do them at the last minute because we about to check out this motherfucker. And drop your links, where they can catch you at, where they can buy some beats from.
I'm on YouTube, Daddy Red 3000. That's pretty much where I'm gonna be doing my latest uploads. You can also go back through the archives. I have an actual video of me making the tracks that I did for 50 Cent. I got old videos of me and Nipsey in the studio. I don't think I uploaded that one yet, but I'm gonna put some of those videos up. Videos of me and Nip in the studio, videos of me actually playing the tracks that I did for Nip out of my machine. I did Roll the Windows Up, and I did what's the other one? Hustle in the House. So yeah, that's
got videos with you and Nip.
Yeah. Yeah,
nigga, if you don't put that motherfucking shit up, hey, if you don't send me that shit, let me put it up, nigga. Fuck that. Because Detroit Red is actually that piece that ties me and Nipsey together. And then there's a lot of other elements in between me and Nipsey that are highly related. You know, when all of that information came about, it's definitely the 3rd volume of the Kicked Out of Heaven. Volume 3, because his grandmother was Catholic. He has a lot of Catholicism in his system, and then also coming from Ethiopia. But the book and the album that's correlated to our connection.
He's Eritrean.
Eritrean, right?
Yeah.
Eritrean, that's modern day lines and shit.
Because you know Ethiopian get mad as shit if you call that. You know that's a whole
whatever. Level. That's modern day bullshit. You niggas is the same, nigga. I don't want to hear that shit. But you know, the Ethereal Law and the Shaka Zulu album is where me and Nipsey have the connection. I fuck with the Nip. I fuck with all the MCs out of LA. And before we go out, I definitely want to say that shouts out to all the Cali niggas who kept their wives, who kept their children, who stayed out of motherfucking court. They stayed out of RICO cases. And they kept the gangster the entire motherfucking time. That's everybody from Cube to Ice-T to motherfucking Snoop to Mac 10 to MC8 to Dub C. You know, they got a long line of survivors. So there's a big question on what is the mysticism behind the Cali writer that stays a motherfucking survivor, and all these other niggas across the country is collapsing like goddamn flies. Something going on. It's called putting in some motherfucking work, nigga. You know? So I definitely wanted to go ahead. You gonna say something to that?
Oh no, I was saying, you know, they're saying everybody's leaving Cali, everybody's running from Cali, but I'm noticing certain people are chilling in Cali. You know, I haven't seen everybody run up out of California.
Well, one thing that I've learned, you know, by living in a lot of different locations is home. I never really had a home. Vegas has become home to me. You know, regardless of all the battles and the ups and downs I've been through in this town, you know, it has become home. I haven't really had a home until now. You know what I'm saying? I've lived in too many different locations. I've seen too many different systems. And when you move into a new location, people expect you to adapt to how they operate.
Right.
And when you get too educated, especially on human behavior, you're like, nigga, I'm not adapting to how the fuck you operate because this is just a region and all you fucking know, nigga. I've been on several blocks. I've been around a lot of different niggas. I've seen and been adapted to a lot of different systems, and your system ain't it for me. You dig what I'm saying? But I love Las Vegas. When all my Cali monsters come out here, they tap in with a nigga. I am the nigga to check in with, you know, and I'm not saying that on no fucking gangster hoorah shit. We finna get out, nigga. Look here, let me say something about that shit because a lot of people trying to take this gangster shit or, you know, mafioso thinking into this whole rap thing. Nigga, if you wasn't waving flags around and scrapping with niggas in high school and in middle school, you're not that guy. Okay. If you wasn't hustling, if you didn't catch cases before high school was out, you're not that guy. You understand? You know, if you don't got a certain amount of work up underneath your belt or a certain amount of women you done smashed on before the age of 25, you're not that guy. Okay. If you wasn't out on your own, nigga, stumping by 18, 19, 20, nigga, you're not that guy. Stop the dumb shit. We need more HVAC niggas. You understand?
Facts.
We need plumbing, nigga. We need motherfuckers working on the train. We need niggas working in the hospital, nigga. You're not that guy. You understand? That's all. And I know it's really crazy because it's hard to back at a bitch nowadays. Because they head so ballooned up with all this internet shit. And that's really the reason why niggas is trying to go to this rap, try to go to this fame route to make it easy to get the coochie. You know what I'm saying? But you have to understand by the time 25, 27 coming around, nigga, you're paying debts on that coochie, nigga. If you wasn't smashing that pussy in motherfucking high school like you was supposed to, guess what? You're not that guy.
Yeah, it's yeah, times is definitely different. And the thing about that is I don't really believe a man should leave with his wallet or make himself a target. You know, you shouldn't tell the women everything that you got going on. That's like I just got through saying, trust is everything. And you know, we live in a time where everything's exposed and everybody can look at your stories and know what you're doing and shit. You want to keep a certain level of privacy and let these women earn the right to know certain shit.
Right. If a woman can't look at your situation and be able to identify what's real and what your stability line is, guess what? She's not that bitch. Okay. Mm-hmm. She's not that woman. You're wasting time because the only thing that makes a relationship longevity and for a woman to truly support you is when she's excited. Okay. Now you need to have mutual excitement as well. It's a mutual thing. I'm not telling you that, oh, the broad got to love you more than you love her and all this other. See, when you get to playing all them dumbass social games, you become a fake nigga. You see, I don't play them dumbass social games. You know what I'm saying? If I'm excited about a bitch, then you know, I'm gonna let her know what the deal is. But in the same time, she got to be excited about me. If she's excited about you, that's what's going to guarantee a long-term relationship. Is when she's invested. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? She's calling you up, trying to get in. Now you got to watch out because you got a lot of these bums out here that's just looking for a roof over their head too. So you gotta search for the authenticity. You dig what I'm saying? But yeah, we ain't going in on it. Maybe that's another show. Detroit Red from the D and the God 720 from the Illinois into Las Vegas will come up here and sprinkle some goddamn game by the bitch. You understand? But until then, nigga, the womansalchemy.com, go ahead and get it. You know. So yeah, we're gonna close out for today. I definitely appreciate you coming in.
I appreciate you, bro. This was a lot of fun, man. I hope I wasn't clowning too much, man. But I was trying not to be disrespectful. I wanted to clown a little bit, but I said let me keep it respectful, man. You know.
Nah, come on, bro. You got the Islam. Can you have the Muhammad? This nigga cut off his Abraham. The nigga, let's talk about it. The nigga had the Abraham down to the belly button. You know, I thought a stone was gonna move in front of a cave or some shit. You know, but anyways, this is the homie. Hopefully, we got some slappers coming up on the next album. Who knows?
No,
but I
sure.
definitely wanted to. And for the audience, there's going to be a lot more of these 50 years of hip hop with a lot of other cats from the rap game, and those who have dedicated their life from it. They may have been in front of the camera or behind the camera, like Detroit Red here has much work that y'all don't even know nothing about, you know, and we gonna keep it live. I love hip hop, but it's let me down. It's reviving now, especially with the 50 Cent selling out and all the big body niggas selling out. Hopefully West Side Connect can revive. You know, hopefully there's another Rockefeller tour. You know, hopefully there's another No Limit tour. Who knows?
I can say this. If individuals are sincere and they take a realistic approach towards it, I think that it's going to take a lot, but I think that it can get better because you got to take the good with the bad. Like we're in a time where we've never had this much access. You know, the technology is better, so you know, good music always finds its way. So I think that if the music is good and people are taking a realistic approach towards making themselves visible and just their demographics and handling their business properly, I think it could go either way. It doesn't have to, but we'll see what happens, man. We'll see. But
yeah, we'll see what
right
happens.
now, it ain't looking good. I'll say that.
No, it's not looking good because you got a lot of niggas out here think they can rap and they only got 5 MCs that they didn't listen to. You know, this is called industry. You know, if you hop up in the fucking, you know, SeaWorld, they understand the history of SeaWorld and they also understand how the fish operate. The fucking, you know, the killer whales and all the octopus and all of that other shit. And that's what you niggas in the rap game is not doing. You don't have respect towards the history of hip hop. You don't have respect of the prehistory of hip hop, of your George Clintons, all the way down to your Miles Davis, to your John Coltrane, to your Armstrongs and all of that. You're not doing the due diligence within music. You wasn't even raised in that lane, you know, and because of that, you can't produce shit. You see, there's a reason why I'm able to produce 11 albums of slappers. And I haven't even been listening to music for 20 years because I have it embedded in me from childhood and from a multitude of different experiences. I understand life. So respect life, respect beauty, respect instruments.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Respect instruments before you touch an MPC, nigga.
For sure.
You know, and on that note, we're gonna say peace. You know, 50 years of hip hop. Check me out at thegod720.com, theblackmansbible.com, kickedoutofheaven.com, thewomansalchemy.com, and niggayoursoul.com. Goddamn. We out this motherfucker. Peace.
All right, bro.